Ooh. Du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du. You have won this very afternoon a SaturJay RPG. So let us start the game and get on with conquering the world of Final Fantasy. Yes, indeed do. Looking forward to, I believe it's called Final Fantasy Origins. Keep seeing it, no idea when it's out, and probably, annoyingly again, I've got a nasty feeling like the other day I was discussing a game I was looking forward to, only to realise that it was probably going to end up being on the PlayStation 5. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to a Final Fantasy Origin. It does look like an interesting one. An age-old case there of that game's progressing by itself, right? I'll take my hand off the controller and just let it load by itself.
World of Final Fantasy.
Thank you, sir. Can I have another, sir? Actually, I think I can. Yes, I can.
World of Final Fantasy.
Why, thank you. Thank you for it. Can I have just one more, please? One more.
World of Final Fantasy.
There we go. I think she was in a different studio because it sounded a bit more echoey. I don't know. I don't know for certain there, but it did sound a bit off compared to the others. Right, so okay, one quick check. Let's find that where Occult Fan issue 2, I believe it was, wasn't it? Yeah. So Treasure, Port Town of Saronia. We're in the Port Town of Saronia. Info. We can always potentially come back, but I'm just seeing if was he encountered by ringing a series of bells. Maybe you have to bring them in the right order. No one knew the right order. Ship home lives somewhere. Possible. What town is hiding? Some kind of vital clue. Interesting. Okay. So I don't. This is one of those age-old ones where I don't think I've got the information I require to solve the bell problem. Now I might turn out, you know, may very well be one of those ones where I go, oh, I am distinctly wrong. Whoops. And therefore I'll end up being, oh, I can actually move the camera here, don't I? Okay, it's a shimmery, glowy effect on the sort of wood panelling, it would seem. I spotted a sort of green. If you look over there, just behind the front mast, there's that like shimmer of green that kind of gets masked by the map and everything else. But I think it's the boat itself has a shimmering of green. Tiny steering wheel. Well, it's going to be very difficult to. Whoa, pirate Koopos! Or pirate Moogles, sorry. They're not called Koopos, they say Koopo.
Well, I'd say the pot knows a kettle when it sees it.
Good lord, that's an awfully large volume of Moogles.
Now what, Koopo?
Stop saying
Yep, it's catching. I've caught a bad case of the Koopos. And now I've caught a bad case of the Moogles. There are a large volume of Moogles here.
We're not here to have fun, Koopo.
Better.
Much better.
Everything has to end in Koopo. Yes, it does. Oh, we've got 2 stars. Oh, my. Whoops, that's not the button I wanted. Well, that's... Oh, I fucked it already. That's not a problem. But yeah, I feel like... okay, I feel like I want to Lubra? I feel like I want to Lubrush. No, I feel like I want to Libra first. Because I've got a feeling, being pirates... Yeah, they resist water, something drastic. I was going to use Balthier. Now, I'm not going to lie, I might still use Balthier. Because I don't think they're going to absorb the water. They're just going to resist the water. But, yeah. I might not actually get to use Balthier, of course. Got to solve my wibbly problems. I mean, I feel like you're going to have to unstack, because otherwise you are fucked. Oh yeah, I remember. I figured out how to do that the other day, didn't I? I remember my buttons. Go, Balthier, the tides of fate. As I say, I am going into this move knowing it's not going to be that effective, but, you know, it's a hits everybody attack whilst also being Balthier and looking cool. He's so tiny. With his tiny cute gun. Whoosh! Magic bullets! It's a good summon. Because it showed his airship as well. Because he's a sky pirate. Which is possibly why I like Balthier quite as much as I do like Balthier. He is probably one of the best characters in the entirety. Oh, there you go. It was never mind the resistance. I didn't know it was going to be that effective, but I thought maybe, just maybe, it would be quite good. Although I did skip the opportunity to imprison a pirate Moogle, but it's possible the standard Moogle might go to pirate Moogle. I don't know.
You got us, Kupo.
Damn straight I did.
Scurvy swabs, for shame.
Oh, are you another recognisable character? Not immediately off the top of my head. I think she might be one of the... okay. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Well, we're going to have another opportunity to maybe do something. Faris, yeah, I think she is a known character. Just one of the earlier ones.
It's Captain Ferris, Kupo.
Hello.
It's created a threshold. That mirage must be mega powerful.
Well, can we maybe say hello?
Oh, you're welcome. But I thought we just beat them up.
That's what
Such
you
a
say,
moron.
What are you, comedians?
I don't know.
Too bad. If you've the brass to steal from pirates, then you know what comes next.
Technically, I haven't stolen
So
anything.
long, you clowns.
Granted, the plan was to steal their ship, but
Why is it clowns, plural?
that's not the point. I haven't technically stolen anything yet. Although I think an attempt to steal is still
Mirage.
stealing.
Make yourself big.
Huh? Yes, sir. You can do that? I should have known better than to even ask.
Indeed. We shouldn't rely on Tama. It is a useless creature. Right, let's try and get a little bit of healing. I have no healing. Okay, well, I suppose in that case, let's Libra this bad boy. What do you have for me? Alright, well, Faris is unlibrable, so that's not helpful to the car. Oh, apparently also can't Libra this thing either. But interestingly enough, you are weak to Blizzard. Oh my. Guess who has a Blizzard spell? Oh, this guy. I'm tempted to start some regening, but I think we'll cure first and then maybe apply some regen for this later, because we do need to bolster your health bar. Thunderstorm is not great news. It's not the worst of news, but it's not great news. I do feel like I wasted it. Oh shit! Is that actual... Is that actual game over? Because... Or was that planned? Okay, planned. Right.
But they're too strong.
Not half. They crippled my health bar without any real effort.
Hide Refia all you want, but you can't play hide and seek with destiny. Fate has chosen us.
The Thane of Saronia. Why is he here?
Because he's evil.
He followed us here?
Yeah. And luckily, she's going to see that he's evil and possibly deal with him for me. Or at the very least, I'm going to get my health bar back, perhaps, and start a new fight.
What the?
Out of the Hydra and into the Crackpot! What are we gonna do?
Doesn't this make you just want to kiss Kismet?
I don't think like crackpot is not the word you were after. Even, you know, removing the.
Anything could happen. Just imagine.
Oh, I suppose actually she's calling him madman. Yeah, right, fair enough. I think the sentence does make sense. I just didn't immediately took it.
Merely meant to crumble.
Oh, what are you talking about, you mad fuck?
Giants from the hills. These questions.
I suppose now I'm beginning to see why he was known as a crackpot, because he's fucking insane. Anyway, am I starting from a reasonable position or a shitty position? What have you... Oh, okay, reasonable position. In fact, I'm slightly better off, and I probably shouldn't have... Well, I say shouldn't have bothered healing. It wouldn't have made any real difference, because, of course, I got all of my health bar back. You choose all. Oh, once again, thank you, game, for 0 information. So very helpful. Let's pop a little regen on, as this is a boost. It's a boost bottle. How many boost bottles do you have? I don't know. I try to get through my bottles as quickly as I can, because I'm an alcoholic. I find like an entire bottle of Jack Daniels is probably my boost. But I suppose that's my booze bottle technically. But I was going to say my boss bottle. I'm trying to make jokes. They're not going down very well, so we'll try and ignore them as best we can. Theoretically, you should do it to Lan. Good, that's what we wanted. The pair of them are now regenning. Now, so the big issue I've got with this game, I mean, there are several. Overall, it's a very entertaining game and quite fun. But there are some issues here, like, how do I know I've got regen active? I don't. I have to remember that shit. And so I feel like they should definitely have had some kind of icon. Where they've got the bars, bottom right-hand corner, where they've got the sort of UI for the sort of characters, they could have easily popped in a couple of symbols, possibly along the top of the bar, possibly along the bottom. If they, doing it in the UI would have been nice. Or if they wanted to do it in universe, they could easily have had sort of like something like the green sparkle that is shown when it initially gets cast. They could keep that as a sort of particle effect around their feet, and so it's sort of constantly there. But unfortunately, they have not done that. So, Wind Rhapsody seemed quite good, because it did a multi-hit, didn't it? I know for a fact it does multi-hit, because that's what it does. But 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's like 4, 5 of them, which is quite something. But see, like, at this point, how do I know they've got regen? I need that information. Otherwise, I'm going to keep casting regen. I'm not going to, because I know in my brain, in my brainium, I know I've got I know I've got it, but it is still quite frustrating that this idea of, they're not showing you the information you could do with having when you need it, which is a bit of a letdown. Because I don't think in classic, even in classic you don't have it. Okay, so if you have it in classic and you target yourself, at that point you can see the ailment. In this case it's a buff, but it works the same with ailments, I think, as well. Well, having said that, ailments do have a physical presence on the characters, I think. Pretty certain. Poison has its usual sort of greeny bubbles. Blind has the usual sort of dark cloud. But buffs just don't appear. But you can see they do have that little sort of triple square, or triple diamond, I suppose, technically. It's a square rotated. That indicates the what's it. But first things we want to do, Helldiver. Well, having said that, that's intriguing. I think that's just stating that it's a magical attack, nothing to do with the... weird. Well, no, that's definitely a magical attack. Maybe it's because it's got an extra effect? Now I'm questioning the symbols in front of me now. And yeah, the fact that I have to question the symbols does tell you that maybe certain elements of their UI decisions were not good. Anyway, we'll keep channeling the darkness because it is one of our better moves. You can adjust it by adjusting the stack. I think I established that in previous weeks, but obviously because I'm not adjusting the stack all that much, hers remains as a sort of... What's this? What's wrong?
You scoundrel!
Oh, I see.
Find another ship to spear your
I
build.
don't have to worry about too much else because, as mentioned, Faris is going to take care of it. Which is quite convenient for me. Well, Faris and Silver, I believe it was. Goodbye, Bahamutian soldier. Goodbye.
So this is how the dice have rolled.
Oh! I mean, I know it's unlikely, and I don't know whether you even heard that I rolled the dice because it went all over the keyboard.
Perhaps you'd
But I just rolled 2 d8s, and they both came up on a 1. So yeah, that's how the dice rolled for that bloke.
So,
2
Federation
1s.
replaced Thane Tucker with one of their
That's
soldiers.
amazing.
Actually,
Oh, dear, dear,
we're
dear.
not too sure about that ourselves.
But everything we've told you is true.
Honest to the goodness.
Well, believe me, I'd not put anything past those Federation dogs. But if they have monsters like that in power...
Hey, Captain Ferris, you wouldn't happen to know where they're headquartered? The Federation, I mean.
Bahamut's Citadel? No one knows a lick about that, lass.
It was worth a shot.
Why? Was that your reason for trying to steal my ship? To go off on some wild goose chase?
The whole idea was Lon's.
You don't say.
What, me? Oh, I would never, ever. I mean, I don't even like ships. Not that there's anything wrong with your... Oh, please don't hurt me.
Belay there, lad.
Okay.
You see, I might be able to help you gents on your way after all. If you are the giants from the hills, the ones the prophecy mentions, then I recall the same prophecy mentioning where you're supposed to go.
Huh? You mean there's more to it?
Ahoy, Mog! You've read the prophecy, haven't you?
I have, Kupo. The prophecy says quite clearly that the giants from the hills will collect 4 keys, open up a pathway
Of
to
course
the
we'll
Crystal
collect 4
Tower,
keys.
brave its dangers, and knock
Standard
at their
RPG
heavens,
fare.
Kupo.
Collect the
4
MacGuffin,
keys, huh?
Wait, the crystal...
go to the final
Tower?
destination, and win your ultimate
Mom,
fight.
I don't suppose you know where the 4 keys might be.
I'm afraid I know of only the first one, Kupo.
It's one more than I do.
Kupo! The first key is said to lie in a... Oh, 'twas the Valley of Fire, Kupo.
That
Where's
sounds fun.
that?
I can think of one place. The Fire Valleys in Babel. Down to the south of the low seas.
It lies in the Valley of
There's
Fire.
those low
Well, I can
seas
think of a
again.
place. It's the Fire Valleys. Are you sure? Are you sure the Valley of Fire that I'm looking for is the Fire Valleys?
But fate must be allowed
Oh,
to
here
run
he
its
is.
course.
It's interesting, we still only know him as the Knight in the Golden Mask, but we have heard his name in the past. It's something like Segwarides or something, isn't it? But it's strange how they haven't kept up the idea that we know his name. But new wares at the Choco-Boca Bar, Loca-Loca-Dee-Da-Doo-Da-Da, Mart. The Choco-Loco-Locky Mart of Destiny.
Chapter 9.
The Low
The
Seas.
Low Seas.
Okay, so like, all we gotta do is cross the low seas and find that Valley of Fire.
Easier said than done.
I don't know. Are we really just gonna follow some random prophecy word for word? But
Yeah, why not?
what other leads
You
do
got
we
anything
have?
else on, Rain?
Fine. I guess we'll run with it.
It's not like you've got anything else to do, is it?
Captain Ferris,
We
can you
might as
tell us
well.
how to get to the low seas?
Perhaps. But I'll not be lending you this ship. For one, she can't venture down sea, even if I were feeling generous. Ah, wait. Ahoy! Mog! Is our guest still aboard?
Ooh.
Guest, Kupo?
You know who. Oi, the lass in glasses.
Oh, from the league, Kupo. She might be
Ooh.
Kupo. I'll go look, Kupo.
We're going to find out a little bit more about the League of S. I do look forward to when we meet the leader of the League of S.
You need some...
Hey! It's Quistis! There you go, I got in there slightly before the name check.
Sorry.
It's
to detain you.
I
Quistis
thought we were
from
done
Final
with the
Fantasy VIII
some
Quistis.
sort of
I want to go
problem?
on a date with
The
Quistis.
goods were sound. I have another quandary. If you'll hear
In fairness, I
more.
did like
What's
Quistis.
that?
These gents here have business in
I
the
can't
low
deny.
seas. Who are they?
She was my
The
favourite
giants from the hills.
female character probably in Final Fantasy VIII. I don't know why.
Ta-da!
Cut that out! Sorry about Lon. I guess we might be the giants from the prophecy, but honestly, we don't know.
Might give a further clue as to who the S of League of S is, considering this is Quistis from Final Fantasy VIII.
Very intriguing.
But we shall have to wait and see.
So,
We shall have to wait and
they
see.
need a boat.
But I don't know.
And as I
It's
recall-
one of those ones where I think it's
Well,
selfie.
If it's
No,
true about
is
the
it?
vein,
I don't know.
that
Is
he's some
this
kind of
L in it or
monstrous
not?
Bahamutian
Can't remember now. But the other characters
Then we
from
don't know
Final
him
Fantasy
anyway.
VIII. So you've got,
Which means
I think it's
the veil
selfie
was up for
with an
grabs.
L. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'll look it up. I have a
What do
I
you
have a
mean?
multiple use device
Oh,
for.
My group had some
searching
business
shit.
to attend to in Saronia, so we presented the Thane with a
So
boat.
let's have a look.
Some might call it a bribe.
You don't need to wheel
Yes,
and
it is.
deal
It
with a
does have
bunch
an
of
L in it.
no-good
I thought it
monsters
did.
like that.
I just started doubting myself because of the
You're not
whole.
even listening.
It's a
So
selfie.
you're absolutely certain.
Take a photo of yourself. It's a selfie. Take a photo of selfie. It's a
And
selfie.
then Sildra, let him have it.
But anyway,
Well, don't get me
selfie
wrong.
was just quite
I can see that
annoying
they're giants,
because she was just too chipper.
But I can also see they've got
And
some
then
cleaning up to do. Do you think they'll
Rinoa.
survive the trip?
I think Rinoa was just a bit too sort of
Can't stop a prophecy.
couldn't give a shit about her. So I found Quistis the most interesting of the characters.
Oh, sweet.
And she wasn't that interesting in fairness to her.
Although,
Poor woman.
whispering wasn't
Poor
very
woman wasn't that
encouraging.
interesting. I think she basically, her whole arc was,
Okay,
I have a crush on
let's see me when
Squall,
you're ready.
but,
I'll
you
take
know,
to the boat.
I can't have Squall because Squall is clearly off fancying the other woman. But she had one of the more unique, well, I say unique actually, it's just a whip. Yeah, if anything actually Selphie had the most unique weapon because I think it was a triple nunchuck potentially. Was it? Let's have a look. Hang on. I've still got the search up, so. Oh no, it was just a standard nunchuck, I think. Yeah. Although it was certainly oversized, which is interesting. Had shockwave pulsar. Interesting. Did she? As just part of her natural kit, or is that something? Because didn't Quistis learn blue magic, or am I getting confused? Was that Quistis' whole deal? Clearly, it's been too long since I played Final Fantasy VIII, and that is shocking behaviour for me. I consider Final Fantasy VIII my favoured one, so the fact that I can't remember anything about it is terrible stuff. Best limit break blue magic. There we go, so I did get it right. Yay me. And also, welcome, Mr. Butternut.
Ready to go?
Mr. Butternut.
Okay, right this way.
Mr. Butternut.
Godspeed, gents.
Nutty
Thanks.
butternuts and nutty butternuts.
Sorry we tried to rob you.
How are you?
We really.
You're doing well. You off to anything interesting?
You can make it up to me.
I'm playing the world of Final Fantasy, and I've just met Quistis.
Farewell. Huh? Come on, this way.
Sure thing. I will follow you anywhere, Quistis. I trust you implicitly. Only because I know the character. I think Faris is another one
Where does
that
that
should
road
be
go?
recognisable. I just
It's the
don't
way back
immediately.
to town. I mean, isn't that how you got here?
A lot of the characters between
road is
1
going
and... I think I
wrong.
mentioned this on a
Nobody
previous
uses
week,
that
but
one
characters between 1 and 5, as in
I
Final
so
Fantasies
wish we
1
knew
through
about that
5,
coming in.
Well, that figures.
I'm not necessarily going to
I
recognise
thought something about
immediately,
these docks smelled fishy.
because I have not played those ones in quite some
No worries,
time.
right?
Whereas 6 through...
Worries at all?
I mean, this one came out before... Yeah, this one came out before 14, I think. And before 15. Definitely before 15. Fairly certain it was before 14 as well. There's definitely 13 elements in disc 1. Because we've seen...
I set the helm to autopilot.
Actually, I don't think we've seen
So
anybody
it'll
from
take you right
13
to
in
the
this
low
one.
seats.
But Lightning's definitely in
Now
it,
get
so...
going before the Thane or the rest
Not
of
a
the
huge
Federation
thing.
catch on.
Faris was from Final Fantasy
Just as nice as
5.
a
There you go.
Thank you for
Point
the ride.
proven. Anything between 1 and 5, I'm not going to recognise
Bye
immediately.
now. Don't come
And
back and
she
haunt
is
me.
therefore from 5 and thus not recognisable immediately. But yay, we've got a big blue submarine. Let's all go on a big blue submarine. A big blue submarine. A big blue
The
submarine.
breeze is really nice. I can't believe they loaned us this great boat. We really lucked out this time.
It does look more like it's going to be a submarine, which it might be at some point.
Love the easy
But it's not a bad looking vehicle. It's a bit peculiar.
Aren't you just a little?
It's very much got that sort of
worried about what
hydro... I
Paris
think
and
it's
Quistis
considered a
say?
hydrofoil,
What did they say?
where it sort of rocks up on the thing
Did
and,
kind of make it to sound like we weren't
you
gonna
know,
live out the
leans
day.
back, usually.
Pretty much.
much.
Although I don't think this one is actually doing that. It just looks like it should be doing that.
Seas? We're just going south, right? You know, somewhere lower down on the map or something.
Also, did they specify how this thing's like going? Because it's like,
Be it.
is anybody actually in charge of
Rain?
steering and
Huh?
navigating
Is it just
and
me, or
doing
is
other things?
The river getting more whooshy.
You think so?
Not really,
Rain?
truth be told, but
All of a sudden, I'm suddenly getting this really bad sudden feeling.
Yeah, me too.
Bad feeling? About the what?
about the fact that I think we're going to go off a waterfall. That's my guess. Oh! Anime cutscene. Here we go. It's an anime cutscene. Here we go.
What the honking
They are literally straight down!
Hardcore anime that had. I'd forgotten they had anime cutscenes in this. Can't remember if we came across one earlier on as well, but nonetheless, I'd quite forgotten that they'd gone. Usually it's like Tales of that tends to go full anime cutscene. So, not that it's exclusive to the Tales of game. But nonetheless, there you go. You've said it as well. I'll get to your other point in a moment or two. But yeah, this is like a Tales of game, yeah. Sudden anime cutscene
Are we alive?
does remind of the Tales formula.
Never been the better.
Hey, don't do that on my
So
head.
don't sort of scramble your towel. But you've heard of it but not played it. Is it any good? I like it. Now, whether that's a suggestion that it's good, it's difficult to say. But I enjoy it. It's got elements of Pokemon, elements of Final Fantasy, elements of all sorts. And you can do this.
Busted.
Whee!
How are we supposed to get
Whee!
where we're going?
You don't have to do the little tune when you do that, but nonetheless, you can change your forms. It's quite fun. I like it as an entertaining game. You have two different stacks. Stack setup. There we go. That's where I can access it a little bit easier. You have little stacks where your characters are Lillikins, and then you have big stacks where your characters are giants, with a J though, spelt exactly like you would expect giant to be spelt, but with a J. Oh, that's interesting. We don't have much in the way of stability is weak, and this one's stability is average. Oh, fascinating. I'm assuming maybe the Death Skull or the Death Kupo. Death Skull is what that monster is called. Death Kupo is not what that monster's called. That's a Moogle. I imagine you recognise a Moogle. You are a Final Fantasy aficionado, so recognising a Moogle shouldn't be too surprising. But there's a running joke where Mr. Malice Caliber was playing Final Fantasy Tactics. That's where I got the tail part from. Tactics was what I was thinking of. And I think one of the dialogue lines in that was Death Kupo, where the Moogle in that was suggesting we kill everything or something along those lines. But nonetheless, that's why I've named it Death Kupo. But yeah, you've got them in either form, and then you make stacks with monsters. And those stacks do all of the things you need them to do. Attacking and the like. At the moment, I probably would not use Rain as a little stack because she doesn't have a base point. Whereas Lan, he does have a base point. He has Righty, the right claw. And then this one got a floating eyeball and what's called a Mew, but we nicknamed them Can't See It Must Paint. So there's that. And yeah, it's basic turn-based style stuff. I'm sure there's going to be a base of combat in a moment or two. I'm going to save this turtle, question mark, from nasty sea creatures. Oh, it's a mini Mantoise! Oh my god. There are some quite amusing names and ideas. Because they've needed to sort of expand their sort of monster pool to a certain extent. Because I don't necessarily think a mini Mantoise has ever appeared in other Final Fantasy games. But I cannot say that, again, as with all of these monsters, I can never really say that with absolute certainty, owing to the simple fact that I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of Final Fantasy. More's the pity, because frankly, I would take I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll try and kill one of them off first, and then we'll use that, whatever, fish scale or whatever it's called. At that point, we should hopefully be able to capture one of these. Not that I necessarily want a fish, but... I mean, I don't not want the fish. I just don't necessarily need a fish. What? Oh, cock. Okay, there's one issue with the game. Sometimes the buttons feel like they're the wrong way round. It's one of those ones where visually you can see all the different buttons, but it feels more natural to say, A, I would like to attack. But it's actually, because of the shortcut mode, it's actually Y to attack at the top. Which sometimes catches me. And I say sometimes. I don't have a PhD in Final Fantasy lore. No, I would love a PhD in Final Fantasy lore. Good God, I would love that so much. But unfortunately, my mind doesn't work in a general sense. So remembering things doesn't tend to happen. Which is kind of, I suppose, it's an interesting thing. Do you remember things? Or do you learn things? But is learning simply a deeper form of remembering? I don't know. But either way, I know a decent chunk that has sat in my brain, but there is still so much more that does not. Oh, I've got 5 fish scales, which means I've got a fair amount of chances to get this right. Resistant, and there we go. Prismatunity. So here we go. You've basically seen roughly the gameplay loop at this stage, in terms of the battle side of things. You attack things and kill things, but you can also do fanciful things or just attack. Sometimes it's as simple as attack the thing, and then that opens up a Prismatunity. But basically, I've opened up a Prismatunity, and now I can imprison, which basically puts them in my cube. Puts them in my cube. Is he in my cube? He's in my cube. Nice. Got him in my cube. Which now means I can use it in some fashion. I would be curious, is it a large or a medium? My guess is a medium monster. But you never know. We shall have to see. It's a medium monster. It might turn into a large monster, but at the moment, I'm only really interested if I can catch... If I can catch a large monster, I'll put him on the team. If I can't, then probably not going to. And I can tell my cactus from my chocobos. Although I did call a Moogle Koopo earlier, but that's because everybody was saying Koopo, and it just Koopo'd into a Koopo situation. There was too many Koopos, and my brain got confused by the Koopos. Aha, Koopo. An Ophidian mirage found along Grimoire's shores attacks with both water and its flippers. Sea snakes aren't exactly made for terra firma, but they manage to be mobile on land through sheer force of will. You can just remain being a sea snake, methinks. I'm going to pop you in the old prism case with Seraphy. And you never know, maybe one day I'll unleash you on my enemies, but for now I'm not that fast.
Mirages have to put up with mean old bullies.
Oh, he's so cute! Just think he's going to turn into a giant one of those someday.
Rain, come on.
Huh? What?
We did a good thing, Lan.
We're mirage
Piss off.
killers. If you're gonna let him just swim away,
Hello.
then you're doing exactly the right thing.
I don't know whether that's meant to... Oh, no, it isn't meant to be the same. Because the one is on its head. But there's the big version. Meow. Hello. I rescued that one. Don't you know?
Young Mirage Keeper.
Oh, hello, you talk.
My mini mantis here tells me that you saved his
I mean,
life.
I'd definitely say toys rather than tis, but there you go. It's perhaps just me. Does that mean a snail could fly through sheer force of will? Probably, if it tried hard enough.
Wow, I'm talking the mirage.
Seriously?
Tama
Tell
is the
me
worst
what
part of
a
this
pair
game.
keepers like you
It's horrible to look at and has a bizarre speech impediment, which is putting the in all of the sentences. Inappropriate the monster. I can't even do it myself. At inappropriate the times.
Are you
Surprisingly difficult to do.
Oh, yes. I'll be your fast craft, or my best approximation of what a fast craft is.
Got such amazingly derpy looking eyes. But yeah, apparently we lose a fancy looking submarine ship thing, only to gain an adamantize, it would seem. Which I suppose, fair enough. I can't necessarily besmirch the idea of having an adamantize as a friend. Whoop, no, not travelling. Saving, please, just in case. You never know your misfortune. It may go off and horribly wrong, so you want to save at every opportunity. The Shark Wall attack! The mega shark walls of the low seas are mega deadly. It's very unlikely you'll be able to defeat one the first time you encounter them, so you might want to steer clear for now and come back when you're stronger. Well, I can probably do that. Off we go! Whee!
Let alone this babble.
We'll try and avoid.
Something swimming around over there.
When a game suggests you avoid something, it's usually worthwhile avoiding it.
Why not?
Lon, does this not remind you of
Oh, shit. There we go, we're fine.
Hey, let's try touching it.
Oh, please don't!
No, you don't have to touch everything, Lan. So I do enjoy this game. Going back to your question about is it any good, I do enjoy this game. The fundamental gameplay features and elements. Is that Riku?
Oh,
It's Riku!
I thought I might have been seeing things.
I know, I was a bit too excited for that as well, but there you go.
bad.
This is the benefit of this game. There's a certain element of excitement about seeing all the characters together.
I wish that Mirage
Quite
had
fun.
come along and trashed my boat, because I was having a great day of treasure hunting. I'm a good swimmer, so it's no biggie, but I was really starting to get pooped. Then I spotted you guys sailing along on top of old Adamantis here. So, is there some story behind all this?
Yep, that's Riku alright. Damn straight.
The more the merrier.
I liked Riku. I know I seem to be in the minority,
Thank you.
but I didn't mind Riku as a character.
How totally awesome are you Mirage Keepers? It can't be easy befriending an Adamantis.
Ugh.
Honestly,
Every time they say the word
I just happened to
Adamantis,
bump
it
into
just
a really nice one.
irritates my brain.
Oh, so you're trying to get to
Because
the
nobody
Big
says
Region, right?
tortoise, do they?
You need to set a course
Hey, have you seen
way.
that thing in the ocean over there? It's a tortoise. No, you say tortoise. Because the word is tortoise. It's not tortoise. If it was tortoise, it would be spelt very differently.
So, shall we be on our way?
Yeah, I suppose we might as well.
Off we go.
Take
Oh,
it
have
away.
I fucked it? Have I fucked it? Yeah.
Go!
Cool. Her mix overdrive was the best. I don't remember using her mix overdrive that much, truth be told.
Which way do we go from here?
Well, we avoid the bloody shark walls. That's the first step. And then, really, if we just check the map, which way do we go from here? I think straight. Straight a bit more. Straight a bit more. Straight a bit more, but thinning. And then a little bit more straight. There's not really... It's not like the game's actually giving you any options in this situation. So the comment, where do we go now, is kind of slightly bullshit. But, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm not so fussed about the idea of going in a straight line at all. I'm fine with it. It keeps you on track to getting where you want to go. But just, I don't know, there's a certain element of that's kind of rubbing it in when they go, oh, which way do we go? The only way we can. Watch out, the linear path gets a bit thin up ahead. Yeah, it's a bit awkward, but oh no, I thought for a moment the way the camera had stopped, I thought they'd taken it over. But I was still in charge of pushing the Adamant toys.
Chapter 10.
Blimey, we skipped through chapter 9 quick enough, didn't we?
Warm a welcome.
I suppose this is meant to be some kind of volcano field. Although it's the Rainbow Shore first, it would say. Sure, it's a rainbow. Sure.
Thanks for all the help.
Nonsense. No trouble at all.
Thanks for showing us the way, Riku.
I mean, she didn't really show us a
I
way,
needed a little breather
did she?
anyway.
She leapt on the adamantoids and said hello. That was about it.
Hey, there's this place I've been trying to reach. Would you mind if I hitched a ride a bit longer?
Sure, I must head back myself. Not a problem.
Thanks a bunch. Okay then, back to my regularly scheduled, totally awesome treasure hunting.
It's quite interesting seeing the detail of the... God, I can't remember the bloody species name now.
I'll come back and improve you.
Ugh.
Hey, don't you worry.
Albed. That's the one.
Right, so...
And that's not a bloke called Albert who's shortened his name and has a surname called Bed. But yes, she's an Albed. And it's interesting in chibi form to have the larger eye, that you can really see the chibiness. You can really see the Albed eye installed in that. It's quite interesting to behold, I think. Is there a treasure chest, or is this just a waste of time? It's a waste of time. Good. I love a little bit of a wasted waste of time section of a map. We should be able to scan that, but I suspect I'm going to avoid it because I usually do. Just need to get close enough. Are you suggesting... The only Albed word I know is village. And what was village? Okay, that's going to be a pain in the arse, isn't it, that one? That's fine. It means fuck, I see. Because, I mean, it is interesting, because the entire Albed language was basically just a word cipher, wasn't it? Because they just shifted... Well, it wasn't shifting the letters, was it? It was sort of one-for-one system of letters that they came up with. And you could learn Albed by the Albed primers. And I liked that. I quite liked that system. But are you 100% sure I can't... Okay, there we go. Right, good. I just had to get closer. There we go. Level 32. No. No. I am level 16. We are not going to try and tackle a level 32. Those boxes, for anybody unaware... Oh, the dragon scars, let's go in there. Those cubes on the screen, they are super special bonus beasties that you can try and defeat and imprison if you desire. They are just difficult, though. And level 32 is definitely difficult. I mean, some of them less so than others, but... even ones that are up close to your level are usually as some kind of extra challenge. And this one is going to be troublesome. How do you know? I might have finished with this coffee, and I just want to sort of pour it down and get it away from me. Anyway, that was the wrong button, which is good. Also, you two can shut up for a moment. I'm looking for map options.
Slapstick's less funny if you die from it.
I don't know. I think I could embrace and accept the idea of Lan dying, because he's a fucking prick. But yeah, the characters, Rain is pretty much the only good character. Although I must admit, Lan can be quite amusing, but he's also a prick. Then you've got Rain, who is a decent character, and then you've got Tama, who is, again, really horrendous character. Righty, we don't want Righty, we want the information on the golems. Technically, I've already got a copper gnome, and I've already got a mini golem, so I don't have to worry about those. So what I want to do... Yeah, I think really all I want to do is kill the golem stack, which is going to be more difficult than is desirable. Although, having said that, I did a fair chunk of change there. But the Prism Tunity, I'll show it again just in case what you get. There we go. I was going to say, where the fuck is it? But it's over here. What you can do is you Libra things, which is a standard Final Fantasy element. Scan. Sometimes they use scan, sometimes they use Libra. This one uses Libra. I'm not sure if they use any other variations, but nonetheless, it's a it's information-based spell. And yeah. Once per battle, leave only this mirage standing to create a prismatunity, or a prism tunity. That's the word. Which is basically your ability to try and capture it. So what we want to do is focus our fire on the copper stack. The Golem stack. I'm gonna knock you down. Well, I'm not actually gonna bother knocking it down. Certain moves can wibble the stack. Certain moves wibble the stack more than other certain moves. I think every move you've got can wibble the stack. So even basic attacks, on occasion, can wibble the stack. However, certain moves wibble it more. They have a greater topple ability. And that's quite useful. Okay. Oh, because you don't have any moves, so you're going to have to defend yourself. She's got the question mark of Oblivion, I believe, which seals all of her moves. I think it's basically silence. It's very strange that they didn't just call it silence, but yeah. I'm not in charge of the design of this game. But I'm fairly certain, yeah, it's called Oblivion, but it is just sort of silence. It's weird. Again, I mean, I could replace this Bloodshot Eye. You know, I could take this one instead of the one I've already got, but I've kind of got the one I've already got. I suppose, do you have anything else obvious that would be a boon to me? Not really. What are your abilities? Flutter, Accursed Gaze. That was Accursed Gaze. Can't help it. Always happens with that word. Track. I don't know if track would be useful. Endless Nightmare sounds fun, but then again, that's the alternate transfiguration of this creature, so that's not even what it's got at the moment. But I mean, I'm sure I can probably get another one somewhere, but anyway. Or I can drag it out later. I'll turn my gaze on you next if you're not careful. Exactly. Oh, it's so dumb. But what can I say? I'm all about words that sound like other words. That is exactly my sense of humour. A burning blood-red eye that slings around fire magic. Kind of looks like a flying tomato. Attack of the flying tomatoes. Rumour has it its tears are the secret ingredient at Grimrar's best watering holes. How interesting. But yes, I can re-nickname them eventually, so we'll just call it the Blood Eye and leave it with Seraphy. Because, to be honest, I quite like the dark version that I've already got. I don't need a new variant of the eyeball. I'm fairly certain the one I've got is the dark version, so it will learn dark things. Plus, I can upgrade it to that bad boy. Bad boy, what you gonna do? So this one has Bewitching Gaze. Be careful. They're going to turn you. Also has Standard Gaze, just without any sort of. It's just got gaze. It will rake as well. That wasn't a joke. That was just a statement of fact. It will rake. It's got rake, and it's got Circumvent, which sounds intriguing, but also not hugely pertinent to the situation. But yeah, this one's got Dark, which in fairness, I really need to learn the spell Dark. Learning the spell Dark would be very useful at all times, but I suppose I've skipped it past it every now and again, it would seem. So I don't really need a prism. No, I think it's going to be just try and get it to level up so that we can actually use the Dark spell. Because I've got... Where did it... Yeah, I think really I should have gone for the spell Dark and then gone for Ultimate Focus. Because at the moment, Ultimate Focus is just sat there doing shit all for me. Because there's nothing... there's nothing it can actually do. Right, only 1 point from Mew. I mean, technically I can transfigure it, but as mentioned last week, I do sort of want to try and unlock everything before moving on to the next transfiguration. So I'm probably going to let him level up a couple more times to get agility, and then possibly try and fill in that blank space as well. We shall see. Jaws! Oh yeah, you were a brand new fresh capture, so I've not done anything with you, but we'll grab water. Oh, Joyride! Cool! I might have a bit of a Joyride on him then at some point. Assault, nice. Raises all damage dealt during the first 2 turns of combat. Also, it's a passive, nice. Critical hit. Strength. Oh, I don't have the points for it. I'm sorry, you gave me the... the fart of, not today, motherfucker. Not today. But anyway, that's about all I can do with my shark wall. Can't remember, was it called a shark wall? Yes. Yes, it was. And then there's these ones. Re-teeth. Re-teeth is A, surprisingly difficult to say, and B, sounds intriguing. And then breach blast and shark skin. Makes a degree of sense. It's a shark with skin on it, so it would naturally have shark skin. But I enjoy skill trees to a certain extent. Although some of them do feel a little bit more pointless than others. I can't deny there's an element of pointlessness to the Final Fantasy 13 one, which was just hold the button and go wee, 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 wee all the way home. And there we go. There's the other alternate. Okay, I didn't know they were called Coup Pirates. I quite like that name, but still. So yeah, you can possibly... I don't know whether I can actually directly transform this Moogle into a Coup Pirate. Yes. Yes, I can. Sweet. That will be quite good. Oh, the Forest Nocturne. Yes, we definitely want that bad boy. Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when he heals you? I'm gonna thank him. And thank him for his service. Mr. Zappity. Zappity-doo-da. Zappity-day. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, can you do the fandango? No, I've never been able to do the fandango. Blank space, blank space, blank space. You really do want a lot of blank spaces here, don't you? Well, we'll learn the blank space, but I don't know. I mean... You're asking me to say yes. I'm not 100% sure I want to say yes. I'm so indecisive because I don't necessarily plan on keeping Righty all that much. So it's kind of like, is it worthwhile shoving stuff into Righty if I'm just going to get rid of him in the not too distant future? But there you go. Yeah, we'll go for agility. That's always going to be good. Let's level everybody up. The bad man, the death skull. Revivify. Gradually restores HP. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that for $1. And it's not even going to cost me $1. It's going to cost me 3 SP, you know. I don't know the exact pound to $2 SP. Why you have to go through pounds first, I do not know. But that's just the system that's in place. That's just because I said pounds instead of dollars. I don't have enough SP. You're quite right. I thought I did. Well, we'll use it on the other side. This is the pale berry. It's a pale version of a Tomberry. Again, I don't know whether it actually appeared in any Final Fantasy game, but it's a variant of the Tomberry in this game. I've leveled Nick up. I don't necessarily plan on keeping Nick, but he's quite useful for his fire powers. He's got I can't remember what it is, but he's got a power that allows him to do shit outside of things. I can't actually learn that at the moment, can I? So no. Gillfinder might be worthwhile. You may recognise Blue Boosh. He became a Chocobo chick because he asked to be a Chocobo chick, and I made him a Chocobo chick. I don't necessarily think he knew what he was asking for. He just said, I'd like that thing nicknamed after me. And it was my first capture in the game, I believe. I think it's the first capture in general. I don't think I've got much choice. Oh, we can, yeah, I was going to say, we can ride on that. Or we can ride on our little shark boy. Whoops. I was too busy showing off my riding the shark. I don't think we can jump on the shark. Which is almost a shame, because obviously that would be... we could be going all over the place jumping around on sharks, which I think would be fun and dandy. 2 attacks. They're using fire, which actually means blizzard might not be a bad shout. I mean, I could just hit the Libra button and look, couldn't I? No! They actually resist blizzard. It is light and water. And unfortunately, I don't have a light, and I'm pretty certain I don't have water. Like the snake, the shark can also move across land through sheer force of will, it seems. Yes, true. I didn't actually consider that, but you're quite right. Why am I not allowed to... Oh, he's forgotten all his moves. Well, never mind that then. Well, I guess we'll just slash. Slash with my claws now, baby. Slash. Whoops, not the button I'd intended to push. One other thing to note with this game, just in case you were interested. You've got this interface here, which is classified as the simple... I think it's classified as simple, I don't know. It's basically the new interface you're probably supposed to use. You can access your small abilities, your medium abilities, your large abilities, and then your shortcutted abilities. I haven't really got enough abilities to necessarily make them so distinct that I need to worry too much, but it's quite useful. And then you've got your other buttons available as well. Or, if you particularly wanted to, you can go into classic mode, which is, of course, you know, it looks a lot more familiar to an old Final Fantasy hand, because it's basically the original Final Fantasy menu style, where you can just navigate and stuff. It's nice. I like the fact that they've got both options. I usually stick to the simple, newer version of the interface, because I'm very much a sort of... I'll just take what's put in front of me for the most part. It's very rare that I'll change a control or change an interface or do anything like that. I just take what's given to me. I'll learn the controls. I'll learn to live with the interface. I know some people like to sort of put everything exactly how they want it. And it's nice when given the option to do that. I just tend to not bother. It's a bit like... I think the only change I ever really make is based on the inverted nature of cameras, because for me, I suppose arguably I'm slightly peculiar, and I don't think that comes as news, in fairness. I think by now anybody and everybody here should probably know that I'm slightly peculiar, but specifically on this occasion I'm slightly peculiar in the fact that what I quite like is, in a regular sort of situation where I am a character, I need up to be up. Whoops. And down to be down. So, what's considered non-inverted controls. Whereas if I'm an aeroplane, a jet, a TIE fighter, in something like Squadrons, anything along those lines, might be easier to wipe out the eyeball first, because it's going to be 2 shots and done. And I don't need to capture it, so I don't need to leave it till last. Whereas the golem stack is going to take a little bit more effort. But yeah, anything flying, at that point, I need that to be inverted. I'm sure that's probably fairly standard for some people, but some people swear by the idea of inverted camera controls, and no. No, if I'm controlling a human-based character, a humanoid character, I need it to be up is up, down is down. Whereas when controlling a plane, a good example of this is I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy recently. I have mentioned it a few times, I know, but what can I say? I'm there. I'm currently playing it, so it's currently sitting in my brain. And that one, when shooting the guns and stuff and looking around in that game, up is up, down is down. But when flying the Milano, I had to change it so that it was inverted. Now, fortunately, they do allow that as a separate thing. They have the 2 cameras separated, so you can have it exactly how you want it. But yeah, I can't. I mean, I say I can't. The first flying of the Milano, I did. I just lived with it because their default control is, up and down, etc., etc. But yeah, with
You the need to learn to exploit your Mirage's elemental resistances.
yeah, I can't really be bothered. So what I tend to do is just punch them as quickly as I can and hope for the best.
4 letters? You clearly weren't listening.
Whee! Flutter along. But yeah, with the Milano, I decided to change it because when in full combat, I just needed to know how to wield it. But yeah, I can't seem to do it. Characters, and sort of first person. It's weird because
Let's do this.
you could even sort of go, well, first persons. Surely you would be more satisfied with an inverted control. Nope, no. First person shooter type things. I need it not to be backwards. But as I say, ships and stuff absolutely need them inverted. You just adapt to whatever the game thinks is default. Sounds like what I generally do. As I say, I'm a bit fussier with cameras, but in general terms, I think I do tend to just accept whatever the game thinks is the default method and figure it out. So I can start using my Blizzard! Marvellous. Land a critical hit. Well, that's going to be easier said than done, but that's fine. What's also going to be easier said than done is winning this fight, because I think they are a little bit tasty. Do you give me a level? No, you don't give me a level indication. But I can't deny, I would like a prism opportunity to take one of these, because that will be my other large creature. And if I can get myself another large base... Whoa! Not great. That might be the end of me, which will be disappointing, to say the least. I think I've bitten off more than I can chew. Are you 100% sure you don't have the... Oh, dippy bollocky shitty balls. My other stack has Blizzard. I do not have Blizzard in my current stack formation. If only I had known this. Do I actually have a champion at the moment? No. Sleep? I mean, I can't imagine I'm going to send it to sleep, but fuck it, we'll give it a go. I sent it to sleep! Excellent. Now, I think you're going to have to stick to curing, and we might have to start using items again, which I don't like doing. My opinion on item use is don't do it. Don't do it, don't. Don't you make me do it, don't. Force me to use the items. They're both asleep. This is excellent news. I don't know how long sleep lasts by default. Probably, I'm going to go ahead and assume... Do I not have Protect on this group either? Nope. Excellent. Well, tactically, it would be better to go back to the first one. I'm not 100% convinced that's true, but still. We're going to do it, but what we'll do... I think standard attack might be better. The reason I've gone back to the first one is because it's lower on the bar, which might allow me to overtake it and get a couple more attacks in before it gets to attack me. It's not a guarantee, and not a situation that turned out to be correct. But, you know, strictly speaking, I'm going to state that it was the correct call. Now, oh, it's Catclaw, isn't it? Is it Catclaw? Yeah, Catclaw's the one that sends them to sleep. So we'll try Catclawing again. Catclaw... Nope, it didn't work, that's fine. But if we continue focusing on the one that's awake, with a bit of luck, the one that's... Oh, no, he's now... Within the sentence, game. Within the sentence. That's just douchey. You could have at least let me finish the sentence before you allowed him to wake up. So the answer is, how long does he fall asleep? Not that long. But at least we've got that one. And again, we could probably... Well, no, we might as well try and finish that one off, I think, now. Although the problem... Oh, shit. A, he didn't get finished off, despite clearly not having a health bar anymore, game. Categorically does not have a health bar, and yet you've decided, no, he's still alive. Nah, look at him, he's still alive, he is. Now, let's have a butcher's and see if I've got any manoeuvres that have got some kind of extra crit. I mean, truth be told, I don't think I do, but I think really at this point I'm going to have to just go for attacks and hope I crit. But also hope he's not got low health when I do crit. The large volume of variables here that are not going to be hugely beneficial. We have a look in... Okay, he's got a little bit of health left. But I may end up having to cure the beast in order to try and keep up the idea of getting crits in there. That's actually a far easier way of finding out its health bar. I was being derpy. Derpy. Come on, will you crit, you little prick? Please crit for me.
Okay.
How does this feel, Mr. Dragon Boy? I bet it feels good. Just pray that I do not kill myself. Yeet! No! Yeet! No! Yeah! Got it.
Imprison.
Might not actually be able to imprison it, because it might take 600 years to actually get the imprisoning. Point proven. But nonetheless, I've at least got the Prismtunity, which means I stand a chance of getting a dragon. I do rather want a dragon. Obviously. You know. It's a dragon. The only problem is, of course, I'm going to have to start healing myself again because it's still doing a number on me. Unless, of course, you get in the cube. No, you did not get in the cube. Get in the cube. Oh, he's countering as well. You little cocksucker. I don't know if Ultimate Focus would help with my cures. I feel like it might do. So, it might not be as much of a waste of choice as I suggested earlier, but nonetheless. It would be beneficial to use Ultimate Focus at the beginning of fight and then cast a load of dark spells, but I did it the wrong way around really by not having dark spells, but still. Let's do a little bit more curing, and then ideally... how much health have you got? Fair amount. Maybe it could be worthwhile using a Subdue, just to try and knock a bit more health out of it. So let's try Subdue. Subdue is... Oh, Subdue just crit as well. So that's a thing. It's basically a non-lethal attack is the key thing with Subdue. It is for chipping away at health without killing the little bitch. Oh, you fucker. You gave me hope. You gave me hope. So can you catch any enemy in this game? Pretty much. I'm guessing it doesn't include bosses. Depends on the boss. And sort of depends on your interpretation of what boss is. And then, I suppose it also depends on how you mean by catch. So basically, if you can define that entire sentence in absolute detail, I might be able to give you an answer. No, it's not quite that bad, but... So, as a boss, you can't catch it, but the bosses usually deposit items, which will then allow you to transfigurate something into that boss. I think that makes sense. Let's try subduing it again, although having said that, it may have no health left. Let's check its health bar in a moment or two. Yeah, it's got no health bars, so we'll try and imprison again. Taking a bit of a risk on the health bar situation, but still, let's have a go. Yeah, boy! Dragon is mine. But yes, pretty much every basic enemy you can catch. But I will just sort of give a little indication as to what I mean here. So let's get through the end screen. Also, yeah, dragon! A type of dragon found all throughout the Dragon Scars. It may look slim, but that's all muscle. In addition to its physical prowess, its fire is hot enough to melt anything. Of course, you have to wonder, were there legs hiding in the Spark Dragon's cloud all along? That's a sentence I don't fully understand. It's probably a reference somewhere. But I don't understand the reference immediately. Anyway, I'm tempted. It feels oddly egotistical, but you know what, fuck it, we'll do it anyway. As it is a dragon, and therefore it has dragon fangs, it can be named after me. Looks good. Come forth, me. And yes, I'm going to take this one with me because, I mean, who wouldn't? So who? I think it might be the baby Powberry. I think he might have to be the one to go because the rest of them I'm kind of inclined to keep. I must pick Jaws. He's not. No, I think it's the baby Powberry. He's of no significant interest to me, I don't think. And this now means what we'll be doing...
Ugh, that's clearly what you've got.
Yes. I think we've just re-engaged a piece of conversation that we had before the battle. Stack set up. So I think... I'm going to go under... Rain. Completely forgot her fucking name. But yes, I am beneath Rain and Blue Boosh. And now she can probably use that stack as well for a little bit. Change it up. So yeah, what we might do is I will change it up from...
That's clearly what you've
yeah,
got.
Little Rain, Big Lan. Little Rain, Big Lan. Little Rain, Big Lan. Now I don't know if I can directly see this, but this little fella here zapped. No, I can't actually see it, but that's fine. So we gained zapped from fighting... I've forgotten the bastard's name. Ramu. The Thunder God. Hence why he's called Zapped. He is the Thunder creature. Now, one of these blocks of mystery is going to be Ramu. And you see, what you did was you faced off against... Whoops, that's not the button I wanted. Hang on, wait for it. I can do this. I can make you understand. I think it's key items. None of those. Okay, bad example. bad example, but technically I'm still correct. So technically, once I get the memento of Ramu, I must admit, I thought I already had the Ramu memento for having beaten him earlier on, but nonetheless, once I get a Ramu memento, I will be able to transform Zapped into Ramu if I so choose. I think I might actually be able to show it off a little bit better here. Then again, maybe not, because he's clearly not doing what I thought he was going to do, like so many of the others. Okay, that's the white knack, and then that's transfiguration into a mystery knack. Okay, fine. So I think the white knack is where you get Fenrir. But, okay. I'm doing a very bad job of explaining this, but nonetheless. So, with that knack, that creature I just showed you, the tiny wolf, he has an alternate version called the white knack. Now, the white knack will have Fenrir available as a transfiguration because I have the Fenrir memento. And Fenrir was previously a massive boss. So, to answer the previous question, which could have probably been a lot simpler if I'd just said yes, but to answer it slightly fuller, can you catch any enemy in this game? It does sort of include bosses, because there is an element of being able to catch the boss. But it's slightly more roundabout than just simply imprisoning a boss. You get their sort of memento, and then you can change it up and switch one of your lesser monsters into a bigger monster.
Dude, it's on.
Let's make this good.
It is. It's not... It is... Oh, they're the spark dragons! Okay, they're the baby version of the big dragon I've just been using. Okay, there we go. So that sentence now makes more sense. This is what it was referencing. Are there legs in the cloud? Nobody knows. The answer is probable, I think, was the suggestion. But I'm assuming... I can't imagine that evolves into a red dragon, but I'm assuming it is a different sort of thing. But still, we'll still probably try and catch it. So, inflict a status ailment. So, it's plausible that my cat's claw... My cat claw that I no longer have... Okay, if I was to pick a flaw with this battle system, it would be really useful to be able to change stacks mid-battle. Because at this point, it might be something you unlock. Obviously, there is a mystery command there. I can't remember. I have played this game before, but I can't remember if you ever get the chance to change your stack form in battle. But it would be so incredibly useful, because right now, I really, really, really want the other stack with the claw. But I don't have the other stack with the claw, because I changed it. Not knowing that I was going to really need the claw. But anyway, that's one flaw I think would have been nice to have for them to have changed. But yeah, it's not strictly speaking evolving as such, because it's not quite as cut and dry as what Pokemon does. Although I suppose arguably nowadays it's not quite cut and dry with Pokemon either. But I think even with the more complex evolutions of Pokemon, it is still, Pokemon is very much level. It evolves, continue leveling, maybe it evolves again. It's always a forward process. Whereas this one, it's almost a little bit more Digimon style, which is you can go forward, back, drop it up, drop it down, because it's based more on the idea of the stack system. So the idea here is you can, rather than simply going, oh yes, it's turned into a big form, there we go, that's its ultimate form. It's more a case of, do I want it as the large version and therefore use it in one version of the stack? Do I want a medium one, so use it in the other version of the stack, etc, etc. It's so it's not quite as cut and dry as Pokemon. But this is very much, you know, the whole idea of the game is very much based on Pokemon, I would put forth. I don't think anybody would truly argue with that. Really? Wow! I did not know that. Shit! I know they've done some odd ones. I can't imagine. Well, I suppose actually they're Spark Dragons, aren't they? So fuck it. Let's Abaddon Flame. Abaddon Flame. Fire. Oosh. My God, that's a pretty epic attack. I was not expecting something quite so immense and intense. But there you go. Sometimes you just don't expect people to come in intense. Primarily because if they're coming in at intense, this is very strange, because it's like, well, you could have just worn clothes. Why are you wearing a tent? I hate the phrase sometimes. Let's double check if we've got any status ailments. So quite weak to sleep, and confusion. I think that's going to be classified as confusion. Okay, let's try that. Hope for the best. Come on, get confused. He did, in fact, get confused. But yeah, the one I always remember, the most peculiar... Ah, you little cocksucker. That's not the one I always remember. I don't always remember the Pokemon called Cocksucker, because I don't think... Even Pokemon haven't gotten so desperate that they need a Pokemon called Cocksucker. The original base form is Cock, then the mid form is Cocksuck, and then the final form is Cocksucker. It's a very interesting new Pokemon for the latest edition. No, what was it? Fuck was it? Oh yeah, the weirdest evolution that I remember. It's not necessarily the weirdest evolution out there, but it's the one that stuck in my brain, because it was one of the ones where I was sort of that age where it's just sort of wowed me, and it's stuck in my brain ever since. Which is the old... I can't remember the fucker's name now, which is a problem. It's the bug... Oh, the spark does go into the red. How very interesting. I was not expecting that. A dragon with a storm cloud for legs. Naturally, it uses thunder abilities. Wait, if you stack with it, does that mean you get to ride a dragon? Nope. It rides you. So actually that's true, yeah. There is no circumstance where you can ride that dragon, because it's a medium monster, and you are the medium creature in the stack if you are of medium size for the stack. If you're large size, then the medium will go on top of you. So, as specified, no possible way of riding that dragon. But you can ride its big brother friend, so I'll take that. I'll just keep it as the default, because if I decide I desperately want a Spark Dragon, I will probably try and use Jay and demote it, or transfigure it, because technically it's not a demotion as such. But transfigure that one back into the Spark Dragon. So it's the bug Pokemon. You may know it from the description alone, but I just can't. My brain's not got the name of it in there at the moment. You guarantee I'm going to choose the wrong pile of this. Okay, fair enough. I did actually grab the treasure chest, but I now also feel like I should perhaps go down the other path as well. Although, having said that, no, I think if you do it efficiently, you can avoid having to go back to the top, which is quite nice. I've got both treasures, and I'm at the bottom, so I think I can avoid going back up to the top, which is good. Although, no,
So, Tama,
no, I'll leave
tell
it.
us more about exploiting resistances?
It's the bug
Would you stop?
with the skin. Oh, it's Shedinja, or something along those lines, where you have to have a gap in your team when it evolves, so that it essentially becomes, you know, the extra slot you've got spare becomes the new Pokemon, which is its shed skin. And it's just like, what? What? That's so weird. But I think if that's true, holding your 3DS upside down when it hits a certain level, that is even wilder. And it's one of those ones where you look at something like that and you just go, fuck off. Because how you can't know that. I suppose maybe there's a clue, if there's a context clue perhaps, but it's just like, fucking no. Galarian Yamask, make it take 49 or more damage and then take it to a specific spot in the overworld and it will evolve. That is, again, weird. And again, I do question, is there a context clue in there somewhere that tells you that that is a likely thing you need to be doing? Or are you supposed to just know that? Because you can't just know that. Who is sort of no clues that you ever found? No, exactly. And also, welcome, James. Games UK. I wasn't sure how far down the username I was going to go, so it came out all stilted. But nonetheless, welcome, James Games. I suppose arguably I should probably do your little song, since I did Butternut a little song, but you don't know I did Butternut a little song, so I don't have to do you a little song. Unless, of course, somehow you've worked out that I did Butternut a little song. Maybe because I said it out loud, but there you go. No idea if there's clues. I had to look it up. Exactly. See, but I suppose arguably maybe it's because my dawn of gaming came in a pre-internet age, or pre-internet everywhere, internet doing everything age. Technically, I don't think it was a pre-internet age. It wasn't as prevalent. But that's the sort of one where you just go, if you were on your own without the internet, you would never find it. Although Fluke, I suppose, does exist, but it is still like, I just don't think you would find it at all if you were not prompted to look it up on the internet, which is silly. But yeah, as I say, some of them, it feels like a lot of the evolutions nowadays are probably born from the fact that people can look them up, I suppose, and possibly communicate, you know, over grand distances. You can just communicate with stuff. Have people bought in, since we've gotten onto the subject of Pokemon, have people bought into the newest Pokemon, the old Diamond? Well, I say the newest, obviously it's technically a redo of the older ones, but nonetheless, I think it's Diamond and Pearl, isn't it, they've redone? I might be mistaken. Feel free to correct me. You're playing it now. Oh, well, that covers the question, what are you up to? So, well done, you've preempted that one. How are you, I suppose, is the only one left, but still. Same for Salandit from Pokemon Moon. I was sad when I discovered it could never evolve because it was male. I had to go back and re-level a female one. Yeah, that feels like an annoyance as well. There's a couple of others, I think. What is it? Oh, I think it's Combee. Now, I can't 100% guarantee this is accurate information, but he's usually relatively spot on, despite being a little bit sort of dismissive of some of these things. But Combee, I think, is another one, where if you get, I can't remember which way round it is, but if you get one gender, it's pretty much useless, and if you get the other gender, it's fantastic. It needs to be female to evolve. Yeah, seems like a peculiar, I don't know, well, I suppose it makes, I suppose the problem is, I guess they've basically covered all normal forms of evolution. So they've started having to create weird and wonderful stuff. So I need a fluffy flower. Well, we'll try and get a fluffy flower. Blue Boosh, the Choco chick, might be able to find a fluffy flower for me. I don't know. It depends.
It all makes sense now.
It'll either be in a treasure chest or it'll be elsewhere. Sorry, I keep skipping their dialogue, but I can't help it. I need to progress. I need to progress in the game. So your conversation is limited of importance to me.
Whoa!
What? Yes, what? We'll have to wait until after the flutter. Come, Master Paint. Flutter me by. Thank you.
You're the right.
Somehow you understand.
Hey! Gonna have to wait until after the battle now to continue that conversation.
Yeah, we got
Whoa!
we're
That's
doing this.
quite a large volume of creatures that I don't necessarily want to have to deal with. Wind Rhapsody is probably one of the better moves because it's random, but it does sometimes do quite a lot of damage to across the board. It didn't do too badly against the eyeball, but then again the eyeball was 2 shots anyway, so I didn't really save any turns. Which is annoying. Please don't thunder me, bro. Shocking breath? Oh dear. Well, that's not great news for anyone. Oh dear me, no. I must upgrade the abilities of my big dragon friend. Wind Rhapsody once more, and hope for the best. Oh yes, he is weak to the wind. Well, again, I suppose get rid of the eyeball and then hope for the best on another Wind Rhapsody. Although I'm burning through my SP quite rapidly with Wind Rhapsody, but it is their weakness. So, and the less enemies, the more likely you're going to do quite a chunk of change with it. Of course, there is the possibility that one of the guys is going to die before I get the chance to. Should really have used the other Rhapsody thing, whatever the... I think it's Cure Nocturne or something along those lines. But we'll use Cure from this side. My little friend Blue Bush, he has Cure installed into his head. Because, Forest Nocturne, that's the phrase. Go, music! Music will soothe my wounds. Soothe my wounds really quite fortuitously. Right, let's see. I suppose we could try Ram. Just a bit of a laugh, really. Yeah, go on. Well, yeah, alright, just wipe that one out. It's probably a bit much using Ram on a weakened beastie, but never mind. I might as well do this in there. Can't deny, I was rather hoping, especially with Black Friday. Now, maybe they'll change it up, but with the release of the new Pokemon Diamond Pearl redos, I was rather hoping that Sword and Shield might get a bit of a price slash on the old Nintendo shop, but unfortunately it was not to be. So I have to wait and see what happens with that one. I get the impression I'll probably have to pay full price in the not too distant future if I want to actually play that game, but still. No, because they're all exclusive to the console, they don't have to lower their prices, so they don't tend to. If you wait long enough, they do sometimes pop them down a little bit, but it is rare, and in Pokemon even more so, it seems. A couple of the Mario games tend to get cheaper, but you know, and by get cheaper I mean go on sale. I don't necessarily mean they just, generally speaking, get cheaper. I mean they go specifically on sale, which, as I say, I was rather hoping Black Friday was going to reveal some kind of sale. Now, is it going to be worth... I can't really see a treasure chest behind that dragon, which makes me think it's probably a pointless situation, but I suppose, no, there doesn't appear to be a treasure chest behind that dragon, but maybe there's something else making this a pointful thing to do? Oh, do I now have Blizzard? Yes, I do! Excellent news! I can Blizzard him, but I can't claw him to sleep. But then again, that Blizzard just did 600 odd damage, so I think we'll accept that. Do 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 do. Ba ba ba. Is there anything more joyful in Pokemon game than finding a It's weird. I read that sentence previously. And oh, I know why now. Because you've used the word joyful and there's joyriding in this game, my brain managed to confuse the two together, and I could have sworn, I would have sworn blind that you'd written, is there anything, is there, I hadn't read the sentence properly, that's the problem, but I just saw joyride. Is there anything more? I think I don't know how I managed to read it, but still, something to do with joyriding in a Pokemon game, then finding a shiny, was how I was interpreting that the first time when I hadn't read it properly. But no, joyriding you can do in this game. I'll show you a bit of joyriding in a moment. It's called joyriding. It's basically you pop on a monster's back and ride it around the field. And yeah, I've got nothing against that. In fact, I quite enjoy that idea. But nonetheless, anyway, joyful in a Pokemon game than finding a shiny. Finally beating a tough boss. Then again, you're not bothered about shinies. I must admit, I suppose, I don't know, I've been kind of conditioned, I think, in a way. I've been conditioned to not really give a shit about shinies because I never really catch them. Or I never encounter them. You know, let alone catch them. I never actually, find them in the wild. So I've kind of ended up being conditioned to not really care that much. Although I would, it depends on, I suppose, I don't know what many of the shinies look like, as specified. Don't tend to encounter them, because they're, the rare things. But if they make the Pokemon look better, then I would be bothered. If, if they don't, then I'm not that fussed. Like, I think, if memory serves, the one shiny, although I'm not sure it's considered a shiny, because I think you could just get it. But it might be classified as shiny, I don't know. But the one I do quite like is Gyarados, because there was the red Gyarados in one of the games. But as I say, I think you could just get that as part of the story. Although I might be mistaken there. But now, red Gyarados I did quite like. But then again, I'm slightly biased towards the colour red, because I like the colour red. It is one of my favourite colours. That's why I like this red dragon quite so much, because it's red and black, my two favourite colour combination, I suppose. It's why I really enjoyed Kane as well. Or maybe the reason I love the colour combination red and black is because I liked Kane. The wrestler Kane, that is Kane for anybody unaware. But he used to wrestle in a sort of red and black striped mask and red and black outfit and stuff. I mean, I think he still does wrestle in red and black, but I don't think he uses the mask anymore. You don't get shiny hunting. No, I've never. I can't. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience for that sort of thing. It'll be me and shiny hunting would be. Oh, I'll go shiny hunting. I didn't get a shiny. It's disappointing. I didn't get one. I didn't get another 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 one. I'm putting the game away. Because I don't have the patience for that sort of thing. Bluboosh! You have found something of value! Is it the Flutterduda? No, it's not. It's just an ether. It's fine. I still appreciate your efforts, young Bluboosh. Just to clarify, just in case you think I'm being mad calling him Bluboosh, he is named Bluboosh. You can see it there. We've got Bluboosh, the Chocobo Chick, Death Kupo, the Moogle, Death Skull, the Death Skull, Jay, the Red Dragon, Tama, the irritating flying fox, Can't Sleep, the Mew, Zapped, the Zapped. I liked the name Zapped. Nick, the Knack, Baybeamoth, the Baybeamoth, because I really like that name. I think it's so clever calling it a Baybeamoth. Must Paint, the something. I think it's just called the Floating Eyeball. Jaws, the Sharkwall, and Righty, the Right Claw. I'm sorely tempted to be obnoxious and call it Righty, the Left Claw, or Lefty, the Right Claw, because it is a Right Claw. Nonetheless, it's not.
Hello there. Fuck me!
Fuck me, he's helloed! And he's done it perfectly timed. Well played there, sir. Well played. Sent me all a bit mad for Blue Boosh, be honest. Was that supposed to be, aren't we all a bit mad for Blue Boosh? Or do you want madness sent to Blue Boosh? Because I don't think he needs madness. Aren't we all a bit mad for Blue Boosh? There you go. That is true. So why does Lan have a different art style to the others? I'm assuming by art style you mean being a giant. That's because we can turn from giants to chibi. Well, lillikins. They're called lillikins. So, giant, lillikin, giant, lillikin, giant, lillikin, giant, lillikin, and giant lillikin. At the moment, I'm rocking Lan as a giant and Rain as a lillikin because, you know, is that useful? I mean, it does form the fundamentals of the gameplay. So, in that sense, yes, it's quite useful. So, as you can see here, on this stack, you get to use Rain as a medium creature, which puts her in the middle, because she's in her Lillikin's form. And therefore, you've got a large dragon at the bottom, and the tiny Blue Boosh at the top. Then here, you've got Lan in his chibi form, with Writing and Tama, and then here, the giant form, spelt with a J, I will just say. It's exactly the same spelling as giant, it's just with a J. And then you've got Can't Sleep Must Paint on top of her, forming that stack, and then Big Lan sits at the bottom, and then you have a medium and a small creature. So in that sense, it is useful, because you can change it. Although it would be more useful, as discussed a little bit earlier, it would be a lot more useful if you could change your stacks mid-battle. But so far you can't, and I can't remember you being able to do so when I played it the first time. But also, yes, evening, Mr. Can't Sleep Must Paint. Good evening to you. How are you? And what are you up to? Are you up to anything interesting? Your first shiny was a pink Zubat, which it was Crobat. Wait. I'll say which is good, because Crobat is one of your favourite Pokemon. I don't necessarily... I do like... I just quite like bats as an aesthetic. You know, most monsters that sort of resemble bats tend to be quite good looking. So I'm kind of with you on the Zubat thing. Not sure I'd enjoy a pink Zubat, I'm not going to lie. I'm not one for pink, as a general rule. Although having said that, of course, if you've seen the Friends Day overlay, you would perhaps... Oh, okay. Which... Why... Nope, I'm still not sure that makes sense. But, which is why... I think I've got it. Which is why Crobat is one of your favourite Pokemon. Is that the one? Is that the sentence we're after? I think I've got there in the end. I apologise for being thick. Right. Where are we? Oh, right. No, that's a repeat of that. Okay, that's fine. That was the Gimme Cube, so I think, yeah, we just want to sort of... Like, pop. How do I live without you by my side? Or how do I live? Autocorrect is messing me up. That's fair. I find that sometimes happens as well. And the problem is, sometimes it doesn't make it quite as obvious as you need it to make it when it comes to informing you that it's decided for you. Because I've often had that thing where it's like, I've written a sentence and I've written a word that it doesn't recognise and it's automatically gone, I don't think that's the word you want, despite the fact that it's the fucking word I want, you stupid fucking phone. And it's just, I can murder the device. Because then you have to go back and either correct yourself or, you know, or you're stuck with the sentence being wrong. And sometimes it's difficult to get the sentence correct again. A new mirage! I've obtained its prism. I suppose... I was going to say, do I still have Wind Rhapsody? Because if I do, Wind Rhapsody is very good. The negative of changing stacks is remembering which moves you do and do not have. Also, I forgot to actually level them up after all that. Oh, well, never mind. I think Ram is a... topple strength medium, so it's not incredible. But yeah, it might not be too terrible trying to take the Bihydra. But it might be difficult to unstack them and not lose it. All good. That's good to know. A lot of shinies don't look good, to be honest. Well, that's what I was suggesting, where if it's a shiny that I think improves its colour scheme, then I'm happy to take it. If it's a shiny that I don't think looks good, I probably wouldn't. Anyway, back to all good. Just got in. Oh, what were you up to that caused you to be out? If you wish to say. I never desire a forced answer. If you do not wish to say, you don't have to. But you never know, you may wish to share with the group what you've been up to today. Unless it's been, you know, I went down the park, found a stranger, and then took him back to a room covered in plastic wrap, and then thrust my knife deep within his chest, and then sliced him up and took him out on the boat and dropped him in the Gulf of something or other. I'm basically relaying what Dexter does, because I've been watching Dexter recently. A lot of Dexter, in fairness. I've been binge watching the first... I think I've gone through the first 6 series within the last week and a half-ish. So that's quite a lot of Dexter, quite swiftly. Which, for the most part, I'm fine with. It's been very enjoyable. Well, okay, maybe my destiny is to collect the Bihydra, because I was going to just kill it and be done with it and go, fuck it, whatever, I don't care. Oh shit, they've fallen over. Oh, bollocks. That's another factor of the game. I've been mentioning the stacks wobbling and, you know, toppling the enemy stack. You've now just discovered what happens with the stacks if they fall over. They fall over. Blast it all. Phone didn't tell me it changed anything. Exactly. That's the issue. No, well, in fairness, having a brain fart while reading it is distinctly possible. Looking at the kitchen, wondering what to eat. I would suggest the oven. The oven tends to be the tastiest part of the kitchen. I'm being slightly facetious there, I know. I can't help myself. Oh, God, this is going to be awkward and annoying, isn't it? How fares those dragons? I don't think I'm going to kill that dragon in one shot. Okay. I know technically speaking, I said I probably wasn't going to kill that dragon in one shot, but maybe you could have made an effort to try and perhaps kill that dragon in one shot. I suppose you're making life very awkward, game. Very awkward. You've eaten a saucepan. I've spoiled my hunger. Good. Right, I think we're going to have to restack, which unfortunately does take a degree of time on the time bar. Which is... Oh, also my healer has died, hasn't it? Shitty bombs. Shitty balls with the shitty bum sacks. Have you got a sack full of shitty bums now? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I wonder if possibly you went off. You said you just got in. I did inquire. Now maybe you took me up on my offer of not answering, which makes this second attempt at getting the information awkward. But that's I think I'm just going to kill it. I don't care enough about that Bihydra to worry about healing it and then trying to knock it apart. Just a bit of pain in the arse. I'm sure there's another opportunity to get a Bihydra somewhere along the game. But, I mean, a wok is definitely bigger than a saucepan. Usually. Traditionally, I think a wok is bigger than a saucepan. Although, having said that, you could have a very large saucepan, I suppose. Depends on how much sauce you need. Right, I think we need to go wrapping round here. I suppose, arguably, I need to heal my stack. Because it's dying. It's dying on its ass. Go on, I'll treat you all to a healing item. Bastards, using my items. But yeah, we've got a spare Bihydra prism, if need be. I probably don't really need it that much, but never mind. Anyway, the question you may have missed, or chosen not to respond to, which is fair. What were you up to today that caused you to be out and about, Mr. Can't Sleep Must Paint? Was it anything interesting? Was it a lovely time? A terrible time? If it was a terrible time, well, you might not want to discuss it, but if it was a lovely time, you might find yourself going, yeah, no, actually, I do want to show off. I was doing this. Oh. And then I did that. I suggested you might be a murderer earlier, if you'd missed that bit as well, just to make sure you know all of the information. Let's kill these creatures. Yeah, I think it's basically just find the weakest monster and twat it in the face. Good girl. I still need to level up that blasted monster. For fuck's sake. I keep moving on with doing things. When doing things. Ah, you were at the bush that is blue, pretending to be a beetle. Intriguing. I feel like I need more information on pretending to be a beetle. I'm intrigued. I do wonder, was it, I don't know. I'd be tempted to say, was it perhaps MCP and you were being Ant-Man, but I don't think ants are beetles, technically. They are insects. And I think beetles are a separate thing, so factually you might be off there. So I'm hoping I'm wrong, in a sense, because plus I don't know if you've got Ant-Man, nor do I know if Mr. Bush has Ant-Man. I know there was suggestion the other week when we were round there that it would be fun. I don't know. This might have been when you'd popped out for your reasons. I don't want to necessarily give away why you popped away, but you went to collect individuals, so it might have been then. I can't remember, but nonetheless, there was the suggestion of making a Marvel Crisis Protocol team of all of the ones with the double figures. Actually, you might have been there, because you might have been the one who suggested Captain Marvel. I can't remember for the life of me. But anyway, the conversation rotated around the idea of how many models could you actually field. So you'd have a team that's like Hulkbuster in its Iron Man form, so you've got 2 models there for 1 card. Miss Marvel with a large form, small form. Ant-Man with his small form, large form. Wasp with a small form, large form. So you'd have like a whole team of just changing models all the time. But then Kabuto Sumo. Interesting. You push little bits of wood around. You were there for that. Okay. Would mostly be Avengers. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you are right there. I don't think I can recall any... Yeah, I don't think there are any others that change model elsewhere. But, yeah, you push little bits of wood around trying to knock each other off a log as beetles. How fascinating. An intriguing game. I do now have me... what's it, don't I? Oh, that is 3 fucking red dragons. That's not great news, but... I do have Blizzard as a solution, which is their weakness, so... We might be okay. I mean, I think I can probably win the fight, because they're not... As long as they don't do the breath attacks and stuff too often. 69. Nice. Terrible human being. Yes. Yes, indeed. But as long as they don't do too many of the breath attacks, we should be kind of okay for beatdowns. Also, do you know what I did? Or rather, do you know what I didn't do? Level up that fucking dragon. Technically, it's not leveling it up. It's opening up its skill tree. It's leveling up by itself. It's only the skill tree where it needs to be... I need to expand its abilities, which does include statistical upgrades, which is what you kind of want. I wouldn't say no to some strength ups and stuff like that, but it is very annoying. And if it's annoying you, think how annoying it is for me that I keep neglecting to do it every single sodding battle. Came home, daughter enjoyed the game, so looked to get a copy. It's not out yet. Interesting. I'm assuming, one loosely assumes it was perhaps a Kickstarter one. And Mr. Bush kickstarted it, and therefore got it before shops would get it. That's why I really wish I had gotten in with Monster Hunter for that purpose. Because I don't know how familiar anybody is with Monster Hunter, but the monsters in Monster Hunter are so fucking awesome. That the designs of the monsters are absolutely fucking fantastic. I'd highly recommend looking them up just in general. Just do a Google search on Monster Hunter monsters and you'd probably be quite impressed and amazed without even playing the games. But yeah, I really wish I'd gotten in early with the Kickstarter for that, because now the Kickstarter's over and even the sort of late start is Kickstarter based as well. And so now I just sort of have to wait and see if I can afford to buy it. Although the reason why I didn't kickstart it was because I couldn't really afford to put in money to kickstart it. So it's, you know, it's all logical steps towards the situation I am in, but it is still like, I really wish I'd been able to put some cash in to get in on that game, because God, those models look like they would be fantastic to behold and have a go painting and then play the game. I say play the game, I don't usually actually get the chance to play a board game, so I've got several board games that I still don't play. So, in fact, is there any that I haven't played at all? Probably. Can't immediately think of one though. Because I think I have played most of them at some point in time. But I am loath to buy any more board games because it is sort of one of those ones where I just don't play them. What am I trying to do? Level up the dragon! Level up the dragon! Level up the dragon! And everybody else. Because we now have SP of 8 in Mr. Boosh. So, what shall we do? Gill Finder. I think we'll do Gill Finder first. And, yeah, I think the passive to raise agility is a good call. A very good call indeed. Righty, you've only got 1 SP, so fine. You're not going to get anything. That's not a problem. Last time you were at the Blue Bushes, you played a board game about role-playing as a dysfunctional lesbian couple. I don't know where he gets them. Where he gets the board game, or where he gets the dysfunctional lesbian couple. Because I imagine you can get the dysfunctional lesbian couple at any good dysfunctional lesbian couple shop. But the board game, I don't know. Difficult to say. Butternut, you meant Butternut, yes. Could be Kickstarter, just found one for sale at £75. Yes, and that's quite an expense. Well, having said that, not as expensive as when I thought, do you know what? I might pick up a physical copy of the Witcher board game. That might be quite good. And I think I saw one which was maybe, I'm pretty certain it was in like, it was way over the 100 mark. I want to say something along the lines of 160. Now I might be mistaken in that. I'm willing to admit where my mistakes may lie, but I'm relatively confident it was above 100, certainly, because it was astonishingly expensive. It's one of those ones that just made you go, fucking hell. But I think it's basically because you can't get it all that often anymore. It's not really in production as much, but it's still like, Jesus Christ. You can find a dysfunctional lesbian couple at IKEA. Every couple in there is either dysfunctional or laughing at the dysfunctional couples. I see. Seems like a bit of a harsh sport, but I suppose whatever gets your rocks off. Oh, I should have done enhanced cure there, really, but never mind, I suppose. Oh, Cure Mirajewel. Yeah. Oh, a sink bonus. Nice. I put the Moogle in the sink, and then it got a little bonus, 'cause it really enjoyed being in the sink. That's right. Everybody likes being in my sink. And that's being in the sink, not peeing in the sink. You shouldn't pee in a sink. Unless absolutely desperate. But even then, I would highly recommend not peeing in a sink. Shell, not a bad idea. And in fact, probably the best idea I've got at the moment. We got Tama. You got anything for 2 points, Tama? I doubt it. Most of them nowadays are at least 3 points. Which is unfortunate for my current... Here we go. We've finally gotten to the one I'm supposed to be doing. So smash through obstacles, which unfortunately we needed smash last week, and we don't have smash. Well, we didn't have smash last week. Fire breath, nice. Scales to HP. It's good enough. Strength, good enough again. Red Fang and Firer, sounds like a plan. Superb. We now have extra stats and extra abilities in my Fire Dragon. Although, having said that, we just want to make sure. Yes, we are wrapping round back to the bush. Mira Jewels. You have a Cure Mira Jewel, which means now, no matter what happens, the Lance stack has Cure, which is very useful. Because otherwise you're relying on creatures. Although having said that, the Lance stack at the moment has the Moogle, which... Or does it have the Moogle? Yeah, I think it's got the Moogle. The Moogle is very good at healing because it's got that Nocturne maneuver. Nearly every dungeon has a secret area just waiting to be discovered. Rare mirages often lurk in these well-hidden spots. You might not have the right tools to access a hidden area the first time you visit a dungeon. Try returning once you have a few more tricks up your sleeve. Well, I'm loosely assuming I have found the secret area for this place. Which, I'm assuming that's a version of a Cerberus. Do I dare? I think I'm going to have to heal myself before I dare. But I suppose arguably we might as well. He who dares wins. We do have Blizzard. And it does look fiery, so hopefully that'll work out in my favour. But we shall see what we can accomplish going against this beastie. I'm assuming it's going to be considered Cerberus. I feel like it's going to be Cerberus based, because although the heads aren't attached, it is still quite dog-like with 3 heads. There you go, it is straight up Cerberus. I wasn't sure if they were going to be quite so on the nose with it, but apparently, yes, they were. Also, it resists Blizzard, so never mind the Blizzard plan. But light. Light was what I needed. Unfortunately, I don't have light. Now, see, this monster, interestingly enough, we were discussing things you can and can't get in a prism. But this one's an XL, which is intriguing because I don't know how you use an XL. So I get the impression I'm probably going to lose this fight. But we shall see. We shall see what... unfortunately, it's fire-based, isn't it? And most of my shit is fire-based. Which is the problem. I suppose I don't have any light, anything to do with light. I'd take anything at this point. Anything to do with light. No. So I think we're just going to have to attack there. It's a good cosplay attempt. Yeah, they don't say giant, but they will say Cerberus. I know, it's weird. I don't know why they didn't just call them giants. I don't know why they insisted on calling them... Well, okay, I don't know why they didn't insist on calling them something else entirely. Because obviously, they could have called them chibi form, but they call them Lillikins. And like Lillikins, I think, is a race from Final Fantasy. If you're a Final Fantasy 14 player, you might know Lillikins, because they might be in that. But or else they might be in Crystal Chronicles, I think they turned up in. I realise it took me a moment for my brain to work that out, but that's just what happens. Oh, of course, her channel element is now ice-based. Well, or rather, I didn't know it was going to be ice-based. I knew it was going to have changed. Or I should have known it was going to change. But yeah, as specified, light. We need light. We need light. We don't have light. Yeah. Well, having said that, oh, this is Lan's channel element, so his, yeah, whatever, shut up. Go away. Leave me alone. High critical chance, neutral physical damage, so both of those are pretty much the same. Let's have a look at Helldiver. I think it's literally just you jump in the sky and, yeah, you dive at them. Cool. Lalafell in Final Fantasy 14. Okay, fair enough. They're the little ones. I knew there were little ones in 14. I just wasn't sure if they were called Lillican. I think Lillican do turn up in Crystal Chronicles, though. The original Crystal Chronicles. Well, possibly the remake as well, I suppose. But I get the impression the less... Oh, Lilties! Ah, okay. That's where my confusion lies, because it's very close sounding thing. I'm too much of an FF addict. That is not a thing. You literally cannot be too much of an FF addict. But yeah, that's where I'm thinking of Crystal Chronicles being little T's as opposed to Lillikins. So these are a unique one. How do you fare against sleep, sir? How do you find sleep? You're resistant to everything, but in fairness, you're the least resistant to sleep. I don't think it's going to be worthwhile trying to hypnosis you, but how do you fare against wind? You're indifferent to wind. Okay. I think we can wind Rhapsody without too much trouble then. What was the Prism Tunity then? Okay, use fire, ice and thunder attacks. Interesting. Well, there's wind. I realise wind doesn't help the situation, but still. I do technically have fire and ice, but I don't think I've got thunder available to me, which I don't know. It depends on precisely what it means by use fire, ice and thunder. Does it want me to use all three? Potentially. Or does it want me to use either or? It's feeling like it wants me to use all three, which is a problem because I don't think I've got thunder available to me. Which again would be very useful to be able to use the alternate stack, because I'm pretty certain I've got Zapped installed on one of my alternate stacks, in which case I would be able to actually change up and use Thunder. But unfortunately, as it stands, whoops, that's not the button I wanted. Well, that's him doing something automatic, that's fine. It's just doing a standard attack. That wasn't too against the plan, but it also wasn't the plan. Oh, there's Ice Storm. If I could reflect, I don't think I can reflect at the moment, but if I ever reflected on my decisions, I think I'd be disappointed in the decision I made. Lightning Marble! Well, let's have a go, see if that's going to Prism Tunity. But then again... Hey, there it is! I may have peaked too soon, though, with that Prism Tunity, because ideally I'm going to need to heal myself for starters, because Rain is not looking healthy at all. But also, it's got a lot of health left, which makes me think I do need to try and whittle. I'll give an Imprism a go, but I think we'll continue trying to whittle as well. Yeah, we'll need to whittle that health bar down, which I suppose is not so bad. Bang. Oh, I actually do remember how XLs work. Yeah. I'll be interested to see if I can work something out with that, because yeah, I think XLs are actually quite interesting. We shall have to wait and see if I can capture it for starters. That's one crucial element, whilst also, you know, one thing at a time. Don't kill it, capture it. That's the crucial element we're trying here. Difficult to know if we're going to succeed, because it's suddenly kicking up a fight. It's kicking up a fight. Oh dear, we're gonna have to do that healing thing again. Little stack that one, or big stack, whichever stack it is. Doesn't matter, no sorry. Oof! Ouch, not what I wanted. Not what I wanted to have happen. Right, what we got? Health-wise, 7,229. You'd think that would last quite a long time, but I'm not convinced. Oh, I've also lost the Prism Trinity, so I'm going to have to... No, I think, because I used that Lightning Marble and I don't have any more Lightning Marbles, I think I'm buggered. Which is unfortunate. Should have had a better plan. I didn't have a better plan. I've now lost the opportunity to do the better plan. Because, yeah, I don't have Thunder anymore. Bollocks. Big bollocks. Little bollocks. Neutral. Yeah. Tell you what, just for fun. Let's unleash a supernova. Because everybody loves Sephiroth. Everybody loves the Sephiroth. Oh my god, Sephiroth, Sephiroth, in chibi form, of course. It's the cutest little Sephiroth I've ever seen. Look at that tiny little sword. Still bigger than him, but it's still tiny. It's tiny compared to his usual one. I just love that. I love the fact that it's all his usual sort of style, and you know, his disgust and hatred of everything, and yet it also is in chibi form. And so I find that glorious. But I do love Chibi Sephiroth. He's fun to behold. Right, let's... I mean, I'm going to set up the fire and the ice one. And sort of hope. Oh, look at the cute little supernova. Exactly. Yeah, he's only got ice as a channel. I wonder what her channel is, if she has a channel. I don't know if she's got a channel in this form, because of course, channeling I think is in her giant form. So, I don't know. I just don't think I've got any lightning abilities now, which is a problem. So I probably won't be able to capture this bad boy, despite wanting to capture the bad boy. I'm just doing that because it looked good. It's just a nice one, but let's see. I quite like it. So I thought I'd use it. Bit of a waste of SP really, but fuck it. Especially considering it wasn't exactly going to do a lot of damage, but you know. Sometimes you just fancy a little bit of style over substance. That's what you need, yeah. He's gonna do something nasty. Oh yeah, he did eventually. It didn't look like he was going to do something nasty until finally it seemed to actually damage me. I think just a few turns of attacks, and yeah, unless I can somehow magic out a bit of lightning from nowhere, I am going to struggle to capture this thing on this occasion. I don't know if I can just leave and come back and then he'll be there again, or whether it's a one and done situation. If it's one and done, that's going to be slightly annoying, but I can't help but think that most games nowadays don't quite engage in such a aggressive one and done sort of idea. Although obviously I have used a load of items, which means fighting it again is not necessarily tactically sound for living through the rest of the dungeon, but you know, sometimes you have to embrace not doing things that are tactically sound and embrace the idea of just trying to get the best things in your possession. Yay, we won! It's not quite as spectacular as I wanted, but we still won! Yay! And we leveled up quite substantially as well, so that's not too bad. Get a load of experience and a load of gil. That's what we want. Unless I am ill. Here we go. So Mega Mirages are XL-sized mirages that are too big to put in your stacks. Instead, Lan and Rain can summon them in battle by expending both their AP. Make no mistake though, Mega Mirages are powerful enough to justify the cost. Your other Mirages will be returned to their Prismariums while a Mega Mirage is present. Mega Mirages continue to fight until they run out of HP or until Rain and Lan run out of AP. You can unsummon them before that happens, but be careful because you won't be able to call on the Mega Mirage again for a little while. So that is how they work. And we do have the memento, so we can... Oh, and there's the fluffy flower. So we did actually have to go through this area, but yeah. So at some point we might be able to get the Cerberus elsewhere, but I am still just going to slightly test the theory of popping in and out, seeing what happens. But we may end up leaving it because I wasn't able to summon it. I wasn't able to capture it, which is disappointing to say the least. But never mind. No, it's gone. That's fine. Maybe one day my prince will come, stick his fingers up my... Never mind that song. Other items do we have here? Key items. Oh, the fluffy flower, of course. And then mirror jewels. What other mirror jewels do we have? Oh, I see. You've hit... I suppose you've hit level 20, which means you've got a free slot. And you also hit level 20, so you've got a free slot. Unfortunately, I don't have enough mirror jewels for those free slots, but I might have some skill points. I mean, there's a fair few there. That one might have something available to it. Not 100% convinced, but it might have something. Yeah, okay. I can probably work with that. Ooh. I mean, I'll probably get the ability, but the problem with that ability is it's an elemental counter that I can't control. Which means if I go against an enemy that absorbs fire, you see the problem. He might decide, I'm going to do a good encounter. And then the reality is you did a bad because I didn't need you to counter. And you just healed the enemy. And that's not good. It's not good for anybody. No, I think we'll leave it until we've got the 4 for shell. 2 is probably not enough. 4 might be, so let's have a butcher's at what we can do here. Revenge Blast. Or raise its strength. Well, we'll have Revenge Blast, I think. I should really use the Bay Behemoth at some point in the not too distant future. Nick, you can't do anything with Nick, that's fine. Mew, no, I wouldn't have thought so. Freeze a maybe, so we'll have a look, I suppose. Oh yes, we can do the water spout, which means we can flush the spider out. Which I don't know how useful that's going to be, but I think it might be good for us to be able to wash the spider out. Tama, you've got 3 points. Can you do anything with your 3 points? You can raise your critical blast chance. Nice. Or good enough, I suppose, is more the key point. Let's have a look at the stack setups if I want to change it up at all. No. What other little ones do we have? Although the Moogle is very, very good. Zapped could be quite nice, just for the sake of Zapped, but the Moogle is difficult to get rid of the Moogle. Slightly tempted to perhaps get the Bay Behemoth going. Jaws is quite fun, I must admit. Aesthetically, I quite like that stack, because they kind of... There's a certain element of flotation, which makes the stack look a little bit better. It's the same principle I was mentioning previously regarding the eyeball. The fact that the eyeball floats off of the bottom person makes it look slightly better than something like this. This, although I'm going to do it, I'm going to put the Bay Behemoth in, because I like the Bay Behemoth. But even I have to accept and admit that the Bay Behemoth looks silly sat upon his head, because it has no feet really contacting his head, which means there's no possible way it could be stood there. But sometimes I suppose you just have to let it go, let it go, let the logic flow away, let it go, because, you know, a Bay Behemoth being on his head doesn't matter anymore. What have we got? A proud oh, hello. Whatever we hear then, we have got an enemy stack. And I don't think I want an enemy stack, especially not an enemy stack that features 2 dragons. So I think we're going to have to try and break your stack, sir. Sorry about your damn luck, but, you know, I can't allow you to be stacking like this. I could give him the horn. I can't deny, giving him the horn might end up being the best idea, because that's a topple strength of low, whereas the horn, yeah, looks like I am going to give him the horn. Gonna give that dragon the horn. And that's probably something to avoid right now. You do not want to give the dragon the horn. So let's just have a look. Medium for Red Fang, but it's probably resistant to fire because it is a version of me. So I think Ram is the better option. That's fine. You can see, for anybody unaware, we saw the stack fall on my side, but you could see right there. Where is it? Oh, there's the horn. But that meter at the top there is the wobble meter. It wobbled enough to break their stack. Stacks, what they do is they take the individual statistics of each piece of the stack and slap them together. So together, that stack had quite a lot of attack and quite a lot of HP. Individually, however, not so much. Same principle for my stacks, same principle for every stack in the game. And it's basically the full battle system. Dealing with the stacks, building the best stack for the situation. Well, having said that, as specified, it is difficult to build the best stack for the situation because you don't necessarily know what the situation is before you go into the situation, and then once you're in the situation, you know the best stack for the situation, but you don't have the best stack for the situation. So changing stacks would be very useful. It would be a bit like if you could not change Pokemon, which is essentially what this is. You cannot change Pokemon, which is awkward because, as I say, like at the moment, I actually got rid of my ability to use Blizzard, which was silly. So I might put the Death Skull back in for now because obviously that Blizzard was quite useful. Well, having said that, giving the horn was equally useful. But for now, we might just pop that little fella back on. Get rid of the Bayberm off and pop the old Death Skull back on because he has Blizzard. But that's where, yeah, it's awkward because, you know, it's not too bad. Once you've, like, in an area like this, in a dungeon like this, it's not so bad because you can go, oh, right, I have assessed what enemies are cropping up, like I have just now. I've assessed what enemies are cropping up in this dungeon. I can build for those enemies. However, if you know, are going against a boss, you don't necessarily know what the boss is going to be weak to. Unless you do happen to know, but, you know, how you'd have that information, I do not know. Oh, I see. Okay, we're going to have to go back up on this one. But I think I physically had to, because there's... no, I don't know. Either way, I'm going to have to go back around to score the extra treasure chest, which unfortunately is not the most efficient use of time. Oh, Christ, look at that. A lot of creatures. A lot of creatures here that I don't want to deal with. Kupo! So, yeah, it's difficult to have sort of everything. Oh, Fire Breath, I think, is everybody, isn't it? And they shouldn't be too okay, oh no, of course the fucking eyeballs are fire-based. So naturally the eyeballs are going to be weak to, are going to be resistant to fire. Words are difficult to get straight. I've got a little bit of the wibbles. I would prefer not to have a case of the wibbles, but that is the current situation for me. Different stacks as well, we spotted earlier, different stacks can have a different level of stability in the first place. So I think possibly the Larn had sort of like a decent stability, whereas, I don't know, the dragon might do. I've not used the dragon, I've not really looked at the dragon's full stat line. It's a dragon, it was going to be in the team. Oh cock, well clearly the stability is not that high, because down they go. Oh no, fucking hell, well played sir, well played. I'm astonished you're staying unwobbled. But it's also quite nice the fact that they've gone to the effort of making a wobble animation. But again, I suppose, if the entire battle system is based on stacks, of course you're going to have a decent wobble animation, because that's kind of part of the battle system. But it's still a good way of... Blue Boosh is very uncomfortable at the top of that stack. Crying like a good one there. Does not like it up there. Does not like heights. He does not like wibbling upon the dragon. But I am beginning to think that's... Oh no, that is weak stability. Yeah, the only one I've got that's average stability is Larn. Which I genuinely don't know precisely who's bringing the average stability for it. I'm assuming it is Larn himself perhaps, but I don't know. So was I able to... Yeah, I think if I dropped down behind the treasure chest, potentially, I might have been able to nab all of the treasure chests in one run. It feels only right that... Oh. Cocky bum bums. Cocky cock bums. That is the wrong way. I feel confident that you probably could have done it in one run. Unfortunately, I've done it in 3. Well, yeah. So first one, then second, and this is the third.
Right.
But it is slightly annoying. I could try and get that Hydropoly Doodah again, but I still don't know if I really want to. Let's Wind Rhapsody and see what happens. If it dies, fuck it. Who cares? If it seems to live for a prolonged period, we might consider capturing it a little bit more. Get rid of the Spark Dragons first, because they'll just get in the way of me trying to knock its stack down. Because I believe... I'm running on the assumption to a certain extent, but I'm fairly confident this is correct. You can't capture a monster. You can't imprison a monster that is in a stack. You have to unstack it first. Which is easier said than done sometimes. Ram it! Mostly because sometimes you can do exactly that. You can instantly kill it with an unfortunate crit, and therefore not have the ability to then try and capture it. But as specified, I'm not overly fussed by the Bihydra. It would be nice to get it, just to, you know, get it on the checklist, but I can't claim that I am going to be trying to 100% this game. I'm going to pop through the storyline and have a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun. But outside of that, I will probably be sort of going ahead and just doing that, not doing 100% of the bestiary type idea. Or the monster manual, whatever they call it in this. No idea. Hi, Potion! Hi, Brain. Hi, Lan. I'm here to heal your wounds. Hello. Flutterby. Flutterby. Oh! What have we got for me this time? Well, 2 Bihydras that don't actually have anything on top of them, so... maybe this time I do want to sort of investigate a little bit closer as to how to get them. Oh! Okay, fine. I could have sworn I'd Libra'd, but fine. We will Libra in order to find out more. Leave only this Mirage standing. Well, that's relatively easy, to be honest. Assuming Wind Rhapsody doesn't suddenly decide, oh, fuck you, Bihydras, we're gonna... Oh, it did. Oh, good. Fuck you, game. Fuck you with bells on. Because I want to make everybody aware that I'm fucking you. So I need the bells on you. Unbelievable. Oh, well. How much health have you got? Not a lot. In fairness, not a lot. We kind of need some health back. Which is kind of going to be... Oh, you... Oh, of course you've been silenced. Oh, you... Billy bullshitting... backsided... buggery merchant. For all your buggery needs, come down to the buggery merchant. Do. You'll not find buggery at cheaper prices. You're being a nuisance. Stop doing that, game. Please, I'm begging you, don't be that game. Oh, come on, guys. And he had 0 health. Just let him die. I don't need his presence anymore. Because I bought all of the things he bought me myself. So there. Take your presents back. I don't want them. Get out of my life now. Right, hopefully we should be able to sort of one-shot this little fella. Although having said that, we are wibbling now, so... we are not wibbled over, which is beneficial. But still, I'm gonna have to start curing once again. Because we are taking a beating. I suppose it might be worthwhile unstacking and then restacking. Just to make sure nothing untoward happens. Unfortunately, they are all still silenced, which means I can't, you know, unstacking and restacking doesn't do much for you apart from get the wobble gauge back to nothing. I am no longer wobbling if I stack myself. Hey, mambo, mambo, a Bihydra. Hey, mambo, mambo, a Bihydra. That was a bit of a cacophony of dialogue. I don't know if they fully planned on that idea. But I didn't understand what the fuck Rain said, because she just was, oh, no, and then there was loads of other things popping over it. resistance to fire. Both of its maws are practically dripping with venom. Tends to get into heated arguments with itself that quickly escalate into fiery exchanges. Despite being a bihydra, it doesn't do so well with hydration. But it does swing both ways. Hence why it is a bihydra. You can remain being called a bihydra, and you can go to Seraphi's little prism case, because I don't need you, bihydra. So bye! Get out of here. Now I've slightly lost my orientation. It's not too bad. There's a save point up here, so we'll probably save and pop it away. Bihydra! Exactly. I think they're wings, which makes me think this is going to be a giant version of the dragon. Now, the question bodes. Do I have a pop at this boss, or do I put it away now? I'll have a pop at the boss, I think. Hopefully there's not too much after the boss. So hopefully it'll be boss, save, pop it away.
Rain, do you hear something?
Yeah, there's a giant dragon behind you, Lan. Maybe use words instead of panicked noises. It helps everybody out, really.
Gosh, who knew the winds of Babel could be so toasty?
Shrink now!
Wink! Yes, it's not going to want to eat a tiny man.
Holy mom bombs!
Get ready!
Not entirely sure what a mom bomb is. Unless it's like a F-bomb, but he was suggesting motherfucker.
Please don't eat me. I taste awful.
Maybe it's the kid-friendly version of motherfucker to drop a mum bomb. Not entirely convinced of that, but you know, whoops. I wanted Libra, I pushed the wrong button, hence the fart of disgust. The Mega Red Dragon absorbs fire. That makes sense. Super weak to ice. Again, makes a degree of sense. I can also take advantage, because luckily I put the bloody Death Skull back on. If I had not put the Death Skull back on, I would have been in a far greater predicament than I currently am. I am currently not in much of a predicament. I have not put my dick in mint and currants, no. Although, having said that, our friend... Well, no, you don't want to use the phrase having said that after that sentence, do you? Because that very much was suggesting you had. Having said that, actually, I have put my dick in a minty currants. But no, that was meant to be wordplay. Water, weakness to water. Okay, so... Problem is, Balthier is very expensive and doesn't do anything extra for me. Which is why I think, since we've seen Sephiroth, we will see the Warrior of Light. For those interested, this is the lead character from the original Final Fantasy game. Which makes me curious. I was mentioning Final Fantasy Origin, which is coming soon or later. I do wonder if Warrior of Light is going to be appearing there, or whether he's not classified as part of it, or they're rebooting one or something. I don't know. I know very little of Final Fantasy Origin, but I do still look forward to it because it's a Final Fantasy game, and it's just this is the way I am. I enjoy Final Fantasy in such a way that I'm happy to play it without knowing much in the way of details. I'm going to supernova it as well because I've got the points available, and it means I get a defense buff from the Warrior of Light and an attack buff from Mr. Sephiroth. So here we go once again with the cutest little supernova you will have ever seen. Especially, I think what helps is the epic music as well, and it's that dissonance between look at the cute little Sephiroth and hear the epic music. Dippy-doo, I am Sephiroth, and I am moving off. And yet, I am also the cutest little fella in the world. But yeah, we get a strength buff, defense buff by summoning both of those, which is quite useful for the rest of the battle. It's what I did last time against one of the bosses as well, and it's good. It's the good way of doing things. So what, Cure wouldn't go amiss here. I think Rain, unfortunately, has been demoted to healer, or promoted. It depends on your sort of thoughts on healers. They're usually necessary, but not always fun to be. Not that I do many of the games that require you to be a healer type thing. None of the MMORPG type fare. But she is kind of the healer of the group because it's Lan who has the Blizzard available. That's intriguing. Oh, that was one of the passives, wasn't it? I was going to say, why am I healing? But I think one of the monsters on Lan's head, possibly the Death Skull, they had some kind of That's what happens when you get hit by that much damage. You just make that noise. But yeah, he's got some kind of natural regen attached to him, which will be quite useful in this situation considering he's half dead. Actually, over half dead in fairness. Although he may not have done it this time around. But I don't think it's regen because I haven't put regen on. In fact, I can't put regen on because I don't have regen available at the moment. Regen is not available for me. No, sorry. I could use a Forest Nocturne, but I think we'll continue the Blizzard onslaught. The onslaught of Blizzard. Pretty certain he just said this is it, but I did, for a split second, I heard the phrase, "This is shit." And I mean, granted, you're taking a bit of a beating, mate, but I don't think we're doing that badly. I mean, I don't think he's going to do that Mega Flare a second time in a row. He says, hoping he doesn't do that Mega Flare a second time in a row. No, he did not. It should give me a chance to do a couple of cures on the boy, whilst continuing the onslaught of blizzards. Which, in fairness, I think he's got to be close. I mean, he's definitely flagging. I could look it up. There's no real reason not to. Couple more blizzards and he should be done. And since he didn't... Oh, no, I don't know. I'm going to take a chance that an attack and a blizzard is going to kill him. It looks plausible, because blizzards are about 700. That was 300. That's over 900. Yeah! Estimation. Correct. Estimation. 100% spot on. Yeah! I caught up in levels, my little dragon friend and me. I've managed to catch up, which is quite nice. Armour gems. Good. That will allow me to buy more summons, essentially. See? Nothing to it. It's not a miracle. I'm just really good at the game. Plus the game's quite easy, but that's not... It's 100% point.
It's behind the me, isn't it?
It is behind the you.
Final.
Oh. Final hair. Oh, that's Tifa. In cowboy regalia. So early Tifa.
Whoa! It finally worked.
It's young Tifa in a little cowboy hat.
Come on, this way.
Young Tifa. I don't have a good rhyme for hat. The only one that I've got is twat. But I don't think I should rhyme that. Oddly enough, of course. That rhymes with hat.
Is coming true. So
really? Oh, I was hoping the Crimson Prophecy was coming true. Or the Heliotrope Prophecy would become true.
The only force that can change those laws is the almighty power of a true king.
We must fulfill the Crimson Prophecy.
Oh, there is a Crimson Prophecy.
Are we agreed?
I somehow suspect that's probably where I thought, why that sprang into my brain immediately. That they've made reference to Crimson Prophecies before. But I was attempting to be facetious, but the game kind of went fuck you.
I'm just glad you're all right. Huge dragons live in the scars. You're lucky you only ran into the two. Normally people don't
We've ran
set
into
foot
plenty
near
of
the
large
place.
dragons, so
But I heard
we
all
would have
the
been
ruckus
fine.
and knew something must be up.
Didn't technically need your help, but, you know, you're Tifa, so I'm happy for you to be here.
Oh, well, I might have gotten lucky.
Huh?
That's actually one of my master's moves. That was the first time I ever managed to pull it off. I live to the north of here, in a town called Nibelheim. Come on by, if you get a chance.
I believe that is officially the town from Final Fantasy VII, for those unaware or interested. Tifa's Championship Medal has been unlocked. You can purchase it from the girl who forgot her name. The Warrior of Light's champion jewel has been unlocked. Interesting. I think I already have that. Refier's champion jewel has been unlocked. Tifa's Okay, interesting. Am I confused or am I not confused? Okay. Okay, these are different. Right, it's fine. Champion jewels can also be purchased with armor gems at the tea room on the other side of the door in the Ninewood Hills. Champion jewels are special mirror jewels that contain the power of a champion and provide many benefits when equipped. But only one can be equipped at a time, and the wearer's gender has to match the champion's. Morph into various champions. This feels like it wasn't in the original. I don't know. This might be one of the extra bits for the sort of whatever Maxima version, I think this is called. By equipping champion jewels, you can take... I was thinking rude things. By taking the champion's jewels and equipping them, you can do you can really emasculate them. I'm going to wear your bollocks as earrings. There are also other benefits like stat boosts and unique abilities, but keep in mind that the champions are Lilican, so Lan and Rain also have to be in their Lilican form for the champion jewels to have effect. Taking on the appearance and abilities of champions is a miracle, and miracles need a lot of power, so you won't be able to use champion medals while you have a champion jewel equipped. Also, Mega Mirages won't fight for you because they won't believe it's the Keepers calling them out, so there are good and bad times to use champion jewels. Okay, interesting. Be intriguing to know precisely how that ends up working out. Now, technically, I have just saved it, but I do... Okay, that's not so bad. I do slightly prefer the idea... Can I just go back? Or are you going to command me not to go back? No, I got terribly confused there, because I thought, why is Lan not moving in the direction I'm pushing him to move? Or at least not quite in the way I'm trying to get him to move. Turns out it's because I'm playing as Rain for the most part. You can technically change the characters. Yeah, there you go. I'm now running around as Lan, but let's be honest, Lan's a moron. Who wants to be running around as Lan? Far better to run around as Rain. For anybody who wasn't present previously, I will just highlight the fact that you've got left and right stacks. Lan is on the left, and his name begins with an L. Rain is on the right, and her name begins with an R. It's an interesting little tidbit of information there. I don't think it's got any real significance beyond that. Beyond being a little extra. But nonetheless, it is true. The two stacks are basically left and right, and the names begin with L and R, and everything's surrounding L and R. As I say, it's information. Whether you think it interesting information or just information, I don't know, but it is nonetheless a true fact that it is, in fact, information. Right, well, that is everything. Do we have the people to make it worth the raid now? It looks like there might be a couple of people. I don't know. Let's look at the options. If one grabs me, maybe we will. If none grab me, probably not. I think probably not. Nothing's immediately grabbed me, so I'm not going to bother fiddling around trying to find anything. So let's pop over to the interim slideshow because it's a nice piece of footage. How appropriate that it's Tifa. Or technically it's Mia's Tifa, so I suppose it would be Mifa. Obviously that's a Final Fantasy character. That's why it's quite appropriate for the end of SaturJay RPG where we were playing World of Final Fantasy. Anyway, that is it. I'll tell you what, we'll do the usual bits and bobs. So if you are after some gaming entertainment tonight, you have this gentleman.
Surprisingly undamaged for that. Normally they're all kind of fucked up. Also, if you come into the room, an alien could be standing here and you will not see them. so make sure to check there.
A lesson on check your corners.
It's often been said that I am an accidental master of comic timing. I think we know why.
There we go. I can't, truth be told, I can't remember what he was playing last week. I'm fairly certain I was aware of watching it last week. Just my brain went earlier on, and for the life of me, I couldn't remember what it was. But he'll be playing something. It won't be Dungeons 3 because that's his Wednesday stuff. He's doing something different on Saturday. He was playing Little Nightmares, I remember that, but then he moved on from Little Nightmares and was doing something completely different. But as I say, can't fully remember what that was. Tell you what, there might be an interesting, twisty way of finding out. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's look at this thing. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. See if I can work it out indeed. Oh, it was Don't Starve. Of course it was Don't Starve. So one assumes it will be the continuation of Don't Starve. I believe he'd pretty much just hit winter. So if you're interested in seeing a person try to survive winter, do feel free to check out Malice Caliber tonight at 9 o'clock with the link I have thrown at you. Or technically Nightbot threw it at you, but I commanded Nightbot. So we'll consider it my throw. The other option over the weekend is tomorrow, 9 o'clock. I'm not sure what he'll be painting. Something Star Wars, potentially. But you will have Mr. Can't Sleep Must Paint.
There are many problems here. Just quite seductively ate my brush there, didn't I? No, they'll clip it. Don't do it, Homer.
They definitely clipped it. Anything sexual, they will clip. They will clip forever. And then you will be known as the man who sucked off all his brushes. That's now his jaunty new theme song. I'm the man who sucks off brushes all night. I'm the man who sucks off brushes today. Hey! Alright, that's pretty much your weekend sorted. Tonight, Malice Caliber, 9 o'clock. Tomorrow night, Can't Sleep Must Paint, 9 o'clock. I can't really provide you much more than that, can I? Anyway, I will be back Wednesday for the Hodgepodge of Hilarity. And then Thursday for Dragon Quest Builders in the Bonanza. And then we'll be back again next Saturday. So I will say cheerio, give it a few moments, and then put the stream away. And then I will probably go scavenge something for mid-dinner, which will be nice. So cheerio.